And good evening and welcome to the Taco Kingdom. I am the Mad Taco King and welcome all. Make sure that if you like tonight's broadcast that you follow us on Twitch here or maybe subscribe on YouTube or even follow us on Twitter. So tonight we're going for something a little bit different, something I haven't played for in quite a few months. The newest expansion for Final Fantasy XIV has finally come out, Shadowbringers, and I'm definitely excited on this because the reviews initially say now that this is one of the most epic stories in all the Final Fantasy games, let alone Final Fantasy XIV. So that's a tall order because I love story and I've loved the Final Fantasy series ever since the regular one came out for Nintendo way back whenever that was, probably early 80s or late 80s, I'm thinking. But anywho, hopefully that we'll see about the story. So we're gonna go through some of the story stuff and see if it's as good as it says, and we'll go from there on our Dark Knight. So let's go ahead and get in game here and get started. So let me make sure everything is good to go here for our journeys tonight. There we go. All right, let's go into the Rising Stones here and see where exactly the story is going to take us now. So we have our friendly Taru named Tataru here, so is itching to share what appears to be good news. So if you need to see what happened before, I did have the remainder of Stormblood on one of my previous YouTube videos, so make sure you check that out if you want to see what happened in the story before here. But right now, good news, we've had a stroke of luck in our search for that beacon. Apparently our colleagues have stumbled across a hidden path leading down to the hollows around the base of the Crystal Tower. A path I doubt we'd ever have found if the Ironworks and the Suns not added their numbers to the party. Thanks to them, we have eager eyes aplenty down there, checking under rocks and peering into every nook and cranny. Still, it sounds like there's a lot of ground to cover. Oh, it gives us choices here. Cool. Then we better go give them a hand. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's new for the expansion. My thoughts exactly. The sooner we find this beacon, the sooner you can travel to wherever it is this mysterious voice is coming from. And the sooner we can work out how to help our friends. We have to find a way to wake them up, and before the Empire comes calling again, meaning we have no time to lose. We'll find this ferryman, so we can find this path where this mysterious beacon is coming from. Let's see, it looks like we're gonna head, yeah, this way. Oh, it gives a distance here when you highlight different things. That's new. Okay. Oh, I got stuck in a rock there. Whoops. Not bad. Music coming through and everything? Sweet. Ah, I know what I'm doing! Sort of. Let's not go that far. This is all some of the original area from the Realm Reborn, so... But it looks like we're going to be heading out to that island there, probably, which we've been before, way back in the day. Let's see what he says here. Heading to the service site, madam. It's on the eastern shore of the lake, and the swiftest way to get there is by boat. Take the boat? Yes, I think we shall take the boat. Next. Oh, that's pretty. See what Tataru has to say now. Looks like we got quite a few people gathered here. Definitely a little bit different here. Look being in our... and we're voiced. Look how many people there are.
Should we get to it then? Pick up anything that seems the least bit device-like, and we'll make ourselves a pile.
So anything that doesn't look like a device, and we'll make ourselves a pile. Okay, so rocks.
Well, if it isn't the hero of the hour, maybe you'll change our look. We've found bugger all without you.
He's definitely got an accent. I don't think he's had a voice before.
Wedge.
Definitely not what I pictured for his voice.
Well, we could hardly say no to a call for aid from the Scions.
A bit Scottish.
Jesse'd call it the chief of some other business. So we'll be working twice as hard to make up for his not being here.
He's not quite the 12th Doctor, but, you know, he'll work, I suppose, in the pinch.
Thrice as hard, even.
Whoa. The midget's got a bigger voice. Deeper
He's
voice.
cute. Are there gonna be fish in this one?
Could be.
Thank you, both of you. I'm sure we'll find that beacon in no time.
Alright, so Biggs and Wedge have said their piece, so we're still searching for the beacon, and apparently we got some good help, so this is good news to see. So, dig, 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 dig. Raiders of the Lost Ark style. Yeah.
I'm not seeing anything out here.
Not seeing anything.
Do you reckon you could squeeze in there, Wedge?
And get stuck halfway? No, thank you.
I could try if you like.
Tataru, no! We couldn't ask you to do that.
So it looks
I'll
like
be
we're wandering
fine.
amongst the ruins
This
here.
receptionist is not afraid to get her hands dirty.
Which reminds me, may have to check see if there's new hairstyles for my character with the expansion. It looks like we found something.
Sorry,
Looks like a
I
disc
meant to
there.
say, the scholars haven't finished their preliminary assessment of the site yet, so we're not supposed to venture too far in. What's that you got there?
It's a good question. What is that we have
Now
there?
that looks promising.
It's like some type of gear, but the icon on it.
Isn't that the
ironwork
ironworks symbol?
Yeah.
Counterfeiters?
Nope, looks like the echo is.
Now I have you.
Whoa.
You are right.
What's happening?
Alright, things are getting real.
Stay with me. Focus on my voice. Let expanse contract. Eon become instant.
Apparently, there's one killer
Wait.
migraine.
This must be it. The device. Oh, this is supposed to happen.
Throw wide the gates that we may pass.
Alright, what gates though?
Oh, safe journey, warrior of light. Find our friends and bring them home.
Alright, so where are we off to now? So this looks like a lot of the places where Heidelin has talked to us, like in the Void or some mystic area, something. Definitely been sorta here before. Assuming it's the same sword here. Oh, looks like we're floating along. Or flying along. Through space.
Oh, do not look at me so.
You're slaves to a tyrant. There's no freedom in that.
This is one battle you cannot fight. Away with you.
Your spirited accounts always comes in welcome changes.
We did everything right. Everything that was asked of us, and still it came to this.
Passing through memories or something. We're going towards the light. Wait, isn't that usually bad advice to not go towards the light? Or is that good advice? I forget. It's bad? Okay. Well, apparently we went towards the light.
Time has not yet come.
Oh, the Oracle Light says our time has not yet come. Okay, so we're not going towards the light. So forget the light for now. Let's see what happens here. Some being of darkness, it looks like. Interesting. Maybe someone we meet up with later. A lot of purple. Must have found some lavender fields or something. I don't know. Apparently that migraine's still going on. Yeah, definitely bright.
From endless dreams I awake. Something vague, yet urgent, calls me to action once more.
Definitely a nice looking place, I'll give it that. Looks like just a chocobo and some random person. Can't quite tell from here. Alright, we're gonna go say hi to them. Let's go make a friend. Friendship. That person looks. Hey, wait a minute. That looks like the guy from the very beginning. Like 5-6 years ago beginning.
To meet someone out here who's not a peddler themselves. What brings you into the wilds this time of night?
We kind of flew here in our magical space thingy. Didn't you see me come through? No? What do you mean this time of night? That's a good point. It's not exactly the night time.
It's the right time.
Well, if it ain't the oldest joke in the book. Me granddad, God's rest his soul, used to tell that one to the barman at kicking out time.
And kicking out time. That means last call. Everybody go home. Kicking out time. Might as well play it blunt there.
And when, pray tell, did we last have a dark night? You rotten old drunk, you, he'd reply.
So I'm guessing this place never has nighttime.
Over 100 bleeding years ago, that's when.
Oh, that's a long time.
You got that look down to a T. I'd almost think you meant it.
Yeah, we're used to nighttime where I come from, buddy.
Ah, got to you, did they? Poor beggar. That explains it then.
And he had wine in there, and Moogles got drunk off the wine and other stuff from the very beginning. So well, a new beginning, literally.
I've roads to travel and wares to sell, but you'd best hurry along to the town nearby. Just head east through the trees and aim for the Shining Tower. You'll find the place soon enough. 'Tis the biggest settlement for malms around.
Alright. Eastward we will go then.
Go on now, friend. They'll take good care of you in the Crystarium.
Alright. Definitely a pretty area. It's like endless lavender, it seems like, almost.
To dizzying heights it rises. The gleaming
It's the Crystal
spire.
Tower.
Its tip threatening to pierce the blinding canopy. There, it will all begin anew. Between dark and light. The pure and the corrupt. The one true struggle.
Oh, there we go. There's a title there. Alright, you got me hooked. It looks like we can't have our flying mount for obvious reasons here, so can I use my regular mounts? Let's see. Nope. Can only walk for now. Okay. Guess we'll hoof it. So I guess we're heading east like it said. Let's see if we find anything interesting this way. Definitely very beautiful though. Even just walking around here. Definitely relaxing music too. Guessing this is the Crystarium that he was referencing.
Halt!
Hey, there's one of the new bunny ear race people to Viera.
Every face in this city I know. Yours, I do not.
It's got more of a, almost an Eastern European, almost Russian accent to her.
This is the threshold of the Crystarium, stranger, and I am its gatekeeper. If you would enter, you will answer my questions.
Alright, I'll answer your questions then. Ask away.
From where do you hail?
That's an easy one. Where do I hail? Well, about that. Gridania, yeah.
Do you take me for a fool? No such place exists.
Well, it's true.
Had you given me an honest answer, I would not have barred your way. We care little here for a person's place of origin. But instead, you chose concealment. And I will not suffer you to pass.
That's rude. Oh. Bring it. Oh. Oh, you look angelic and monstrous. And gone. Bye. I know. Relic of something.
That one had eaten. It must have gulped down the whole hand. Ring and all.
Aw, not our dude that we just met. Dude. Not cool. Oh, he gone.
Everything all right, Captain?
Quite all right, my lord. Just a stray sin eater, and a weak one at that.
Sin eater, huh?
I see. Weak or not, we should be on the lookout for more. But I see you've met my guest. I will escort her to the Crystarium myself, if you've no objections.
Another of your mysterious friends, is it? I should have known.
Mysterious friends. Oh, some people have
Very
been here
well.
before me.
I'll inform the others your guest is to be given the run of the city. Pray forgive my less than cordial welcome. May the rest of your stay with us be a pleasant one.
I guess we'll see.
Come with me. I will answer whatever questions you have when we are somewhere more private.
Okay, mysterious hooded dude, you seem trustworthy. I'll follow you.
Right then, before we plunge into the wheres and wherefores, let me first thank you for answering my summons.
Yeah, about that. My friends, you kind of put them all to sleep trying to summon me, so
I had
how about you wake
intended
them
to
up?
bring you directly to my personal quarters, but I fear my aim was slightly off. That you are still able to make the crossing unharmed is a great relief. And so, we come to the question of where. The realm in which you now find yourself belongs to one of the 13 reflections, or shards. The first, to be precise, even if its inhabitants are largely oblivious to the fact. As to wherefore, having been awarded the rather grandiose title of Crystal Exarch, I, in my capacity as caretaker of the Crystarium, thought to seek the aid of you and your companion.
Well, I'm here now, ain't I? That's what I do. Are there other scions here? Let's go ahead and ask that one first.
Ah, that is a question with no simple answer.
Of course.
But all shall be explained.
Would never
in
be a
due
simple
course,
answer.
I promise you.
It'd be too easy.
Let us begin with the glaring skies up above.
Yeah, what's up with the endless day, apparently? I need some nighttime.
Here in the first,
That's right.
the world has been all but consumed by primordial light.
That sounds bad.
It began a century ago, by this realm's reckoning. A luminous flood swallowing everything in its path. More than 9/10 of this star was lost.
Jeez. Okay, definitely bad.
And the fortunate few who survived are hounded by abominations born of that catastrophe even now. Sin Eaters, we call them. The creature you saw earlier was one such monstrosity.
Okay.
It was to save the first from this menace that I learned to bridge the rift between worlds. That I might call upon the aid of the greatest of heroes.
Well, hopefully that's
Though
me.
it meant depriving a world of its champion, I had to try. For in saving the first, you would bring salvation to the source as well. But what manner of host harangues his guests in the middle of the road? Let us continue our talk within the Crystarium.
Yeah, let's go that way. Seems like a good idea. Also, I'm gonna need your staff. No reason. Just need your staff. Looks cool. Might need it later. Mainly it looks cool though. Okay. It's a nice lengthy bridge. Oh good, I'm glad we were saved to walk across it. Nothing like a convenience cutscene there. It's more like a... I think I'll describe that. Hang on, I'm gonna get in our picture hopefully here in a second. It's a nice place.
Such a proud and vibrant city.
Blue.
The sole sanctuary for the living in a world all but resigned to oblivion.
Nice place. I wouldn't
Each
mind visiting
stone
it.
was
Ooh.
laid with
Hey,
hope.
there's some bread, some
The
wine.
town itself a symbol. A
Not sure what
monument to
that was.
defiance in the face of death. No would-be hero could fail to answer its call. For who among us does not yearn for salvation?
Norvrant, the Crystarium. I wonder if you can enter the Crystal Tower in this area. Let's see what the Exarch has to say here. And here we are. Welcome, my friend, to the Crystarium. Hey! There we go. Ahead and learn that orchestrion roll. White oak weapon coffer. Polished says a valuable weapon. Require level. Okay, so it'd give us a 385 weapon, which I have a 360, so actually would be an improvement. Let's go ahead and open that bad boy then. Deep gold claymore. High quality one too. Nice. Ooh, it's actually not a bad looking blade there. Yeah, it's not bad. I'll take that. Alright. Let's see what Mr. Exarch has to say. Crystal Exarch has a request for you. Alright. How may I serve? Sure. sure you want me to beat up some people. Now, a full and frank discussion in the privacy of my study would seem to be in order. But I think our conversation would be more meaningful were you first to gain a firmer grasp of the situation here. To that end, I would like you to visit a full of the Crystarium's civic leaders and glean something of the world and its predicament. Okay. Can do, so I guess we're getting the grand tour then. As you can see, this path will take you directly to the Aetheryte, a convenience for which I am sure you're only too familiar. Being the rightful object of my summoning spell, you should be in theory be able to reach all the way back to your Aetheric trail and find a connection to the source, believe it or not. I strongly suggest you complete this attunement before venturing any further. Which means do it! After you have done so, walk up the steps next to the Aetheryte and head out to the left and arrive in the Crystal Mean. This is where we will find our collective of crafters and gatherers, as well as the spokeswoman Katlass, one of the people I should like you to meet. Okay, can do. Another is Mor, and to reach him in his Cabinet of Curiosity, you'll want to avoid the aforementioned steps, take the exit on the left, and simply continue straight down until you come to the lodge doors at the end of the path. Okay, can do. Third and final person I should like you to meet is Bragi, our man in charge of trade and distribution. He is found in the markets, which you can access from the opposite side of the Aetheryte Plaza. In seeking out each of my colleagues, you will visit the major districts of the city and hopefully gain a feel for the place. I trust my directions were simple enough? Crystal clear. Ha, very good. I can see the layout that Crystarium owes more to historic. In all honesty, the true challenge may be finding the right way to approach its citizens. As you have discovered during your encounter with the captain, the people of this world are unaware of the existence of other stars and will struggle to accept the truth of your origin. That being the case, when they ask where you hail, as they inevitably will, I suggest you claim to share a homeland with the Crystal Exarch. There is an unspoken rule here about peering too deeply into that particular mystery. Alright. When you finish making the rounds, pray meet me in the large courtyard at the center of town. Until then. Okay, so time to go on the tour. Let's take a tour of the Crystarium here. Still can't use mounts. It's alright. Alright, so let's go tune first. It's a very, very nice place here. Music's top notch too. Alright, let's tune. Been a while since we've had to do that. Alright. Tune to the Aetheryte. By focusing your senses, you detect the flow of vastly distant currents of the Aether. Your connection to these energies is faint but stable and should allow teleportation to Aetherites in the source. Alright, so it means, in short, we can get home. Alright, so let's go up the stairs here first like he suggested. Then... goes this way. Yeah, that's what it looks like there. Let's head along here. Wow. This is definitely a bigger city than I anticipated. I don't think this was the person I was going to meet, though. Because there is nobody up here. Okay, so we took a wrong turn, it looks like. So maybe it was this way. He definitely said someone up the stairs. See if we can sprint along here. This way? Can we get through? No, can't get through there. What about this way? A Baldekin. There's a merchant there. Okay, so it looks like there's Aetheryte tuning stuff here. Let's go ahead and attune to the stuff as we find it, just like any other city we've had. Okay. The crystalline mean. Yeah, he did mention the crystalline mean. Okay. Let's talk to Katlass here. Rare to see a place so well stocked with goods, isn't it? But not here. I'm going to guess you're new to our fair city. Well, for what it's worth, you've chosen a fine sanctuary. The Exarch can throw up a barrier if the Sin Eaters come knocking, so it's a damn sight safer in here than it is out there. Safer and more civilized, too, thanks to us in the mean. We work together to procure materials and resources and craft the goods which make city life possible. This is the place to visit if you need a coat mended or a kettle forged. Just don't go thinking it'll be all handed you on a plate like those illuminant layabouts. Here in the Crystarium, we work for a living. Well, I see you're no stranger to honest labor. You don't have that whiff of indolence about you like some folk I've met. Still, I can't quite pin down your profession. Where is it you're from? One of the Exarch's countrymen, you say. I see. Well then, I'll work twice as hard to make you feel welcome. Our city wouldn't even exist if it weren't for him. And any friend of his is a friend of ours. Yeah, that tower. It's really quite incredible when you think about it. They say his grand magic summoned the Crystal Tower into existence, pulled the entire thing out of thin air. It wasn't long before droves of refugees began congregating around his base, desperate for shelter after losing their homes to the flood. And that's how the Crystarium began. At the Exarch's invitation, buildings started going up, and with the help of some curious relics brought forth from the tower, the place gradually expanded to the thriving metropolis you see today. The city stood here for decades now, yet the eldest among us swear the Exarch looks exactly the same as he did back then. He is indeed a man of many mysteries, but for all his secrecy, he has never yet let us down. So if he and you wish to remain silent about your shared homeland, then the folk here will respect your wish for privacy. I am, however, more than a little curious to see any crafty talent you might be hiding. If you ought to contribute on that front, be sure to come back and visit once you've had a chance to settle in. Just ask for Catalyst, and you'll find a niche here in the crystalline mean. You can help us keep the cogs of the city greased and turning. Okay, exchange with Catalyst has... Oh, your exchange with Catalyst has taught you about life in the Crystarium. Okay. Good deal. Let's head back down like he had suggested. Alright, so the next one he said was to head down the stairs and down this way, so let's go that way first. Oh, there's an Aethernet short, so let's go ahead and stop there real quick. Alright, we've been tuned to the Temeno's Rookery. Okay, so let's head down the stairs as the Exarch has asked us to. Let's see what we find this way. Oh wow, this is big under here too. How big is this place? Holy Jeebus. I was expecting how best to describe, how, like a, one of the cities from historical kind of size, not like this. This is definitely big. So they're getting you introduced to the big city very quickly here. Ooh, that's a big library. Ah, Belle would love this here. And this is a library for libraries. Let's see here. Excuse me, miss, are you recently come to the city perchance? I'm quite familiar with our civic rules, you see, and well, ahem. What I mean to ask is, have you brought any books with you? A rumbled scroll even, a scrap of scribbled on parchment? Don't think so. My apologies, literature is something of an obsession of mine, as well as a profession. Librarian Morin at your service, and this humble collection is known as the Cabinet of Curiosity. It's definitely more than a cabinet. As your powers of perception have likely informed you, my colleagues and I are responsible for curating all manners of tomes, documents, and other vehicles for the written world. As horrific as the loss of life and land wrought by the flood unquestionably was, the damage to the recorded knowledge was no less catastrophic. We few do all we can to preserve what wisdom survived. But tell me, what brings you to the cabinet today? Looking for any title in particular? Mayhap a spot of academic research? Oh, so you've an interest in modern history. Splendid! A thorough review of recent events can often yield novel perspectives. I quite agree. If If you would prefer something visual to accompany the account, then I think I have an illustrated history book for children somewhere. Just a moment, and I'll fetch it for you. So we're getting a kid's book? Alright. Not the worst thing, I suppose. Here we are. Would you like me to pull up a chair, make yourself more comfortable? Ahem, on with the lesson then. Okay. Story time! Ooh. 100 years ago, or near enough not to matter, villains known as the Warriors of Light slew the Shadowkeeper, the Steward of Darkness. In the wake of this tainted deed, light began to pour out into the world as if from unseen cracks. It pooled and swelled without cease until the day an enormous blinding wave rose up and swept across our star. We called this the calamity, the flood of light. Everything it touched was leached of life and vigor, leaving naught behind but a luminous wasteland. Yet, just when it seemed that all would be lost, a savior appeared before us. The Oracle of Light. She stood twixt us and approaching doom, and by her power did she stay the flood. Thus was Norvant, and Norvant alone spared by the fate of erasure. Tragedy would, however, arrive in another form. From the blasted emptiness descended horrors of strange and terrible aspect to bedevil the few folk who survived. These Sin-Eaters were light incarnate, and their effulgent presence stole the night from Norvant's sky. Even now they circle the remaining bastions of civilization, ever on the hunt for us, ever hungering for our flesh. Okay. And thus did the world become what it is. Should you ever wish to hear the tale again, I would be glad to retell it for you. Or if you would rather I speak of the other matters, that too would be my pleasure. I should be glad of the company. Okay, so we learned about the Flood of Light. Okay. Definitely a huge library. Dang. Okay. So we'll exit this grand library here. Area below here too. The Trivium. I'm sure that'll be something of some importance later, but as of right now, not so much. Alright, so let's head back up these stairs. I think he said to go, like, this way, and then, yeah. I think so. We'll go this way. We shall explore. The Rotunda. There's Braggy there, the last person we need to see. Let's see what Braggy has to say. Neither to the city, friend. The spinning head and wide eyes give you away. Clearly. Welcome, my name is Braggy, and I'm the master of these markets. They gave the district another official title, but I'm not in the habit of using it. Too florid by half. In any case, our merchants stock a range of equipment for Dran such as yourself, so finding something in your size shouldn't be a problem. Did you say Dran? Is something wrong? Let's see if we can straighten this out. See those two in front of us? The shorter one is a Hume, and the taller one is an elf. The sturdy individual over there is a Galgent, and whilst the one with the horns is Dran, like you. And then you have the large, scaly chaps with long tails and a knack for raising livestock. Those would be the Zune. which is apparently not the name you know them by. Now I'm curious to know which far-flung region you hail from. Ah, the same as the Exarch, eh? Well, that explains it. You don't get much further flung than that. We've had a few of your lot pass through in recent years, and despite their obvious learning, they floundered over the simplest things. Not to worry, should you find yourself confused by the local language or customs, I'll be here to answer your questions. Alright. Let's head back, and I guess we're going back towards the gate, it looks like, so let's sprint along. Can I get back this way? Ah, yes I can. There. Let's go ahead and tune to this shard while I'm in the area, just to make things a little more convenient. And we have Aethernet access to the docile gate. Well, how did you fare? Did my colleagues help you in painting a clearer picture of this world and its people? Yeah, kind of did. Yes, it seems you were treated to a most thorough introduction. I understand it was something of a chore, but 'twas necessary that you grasp these things before we proceed. As for the Crystal Tower's origin, you may have noted that details were sparse. The structure is, in fact, the self-same one noted from the source, transported to the first in its entirety. It was my first attempt at breaching the boundaries between worlds, something of a trial run for your eventual crossing, and although I do not know which era I tore it from, I do know that its arrival served to set the wheels of fate in motion. Okay. We got a coffer. Don't have any 370, so that'll definitely be an upgrade. So it looks like everything we're going to be upgrading here very, very quickly. It's not a bad thing, mind you. Ooh, looks cool. Definitely looks like a warrior there. Alright, let's keep going. Alright, so you've done this I've requested and learned something of the world in which you find yourself. Now it's time I fulfilled my half of the bargain and explain what has befallen your comrades. That's a conversation I would rather have in the privacy of my quarters. However, I must go ahead of the tower and organize a few things, but I shall see that the guard knows to admit you. Tower's gate lies open then? Yes, of course, it can be open and closed just like any other. Does that seem strange to you? I know not how the tower functioned in your time, but I assure you there is no danger of us being locked inside. Okay, so speak with the gatekeeper here in a second, but let's see, is there a summoning bell for retainers? I think it would be. Let's see what now they are. No, let's continue the story here. Might as well. Definitely a different Crystal Tower than the one I'm familiar with. Greetings, madam. The Exarch awaits you within. Here at the Crystal Tower, yes, please. Definitely the Crystal Tower we know and love. Minus, you know, bosses. Nice music, though.
Welcome to the Ocular, my private study. We can speak here without fear of being overheard. I have much to explain, but the truths which I must touch upon in doing so would cause only distress and confusion to the people of this world. Pray keep that in mind.
Okie dokie.
Now, I am sure you are desperate to know the fate of your fellow scions.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm here.
Simply, they are here in the first. Their arrival, however, was not as recent as you may imagine. Here, time flows at a different pace from that of the source. In the space of a single hour in your home world, an entire year might pass in the first. And the reverse could also be true.
So time works a lot differently here.
The pace fluctuates without rhyme or reason, and it cannot be predicted. That said, we seem to be entering a period of near equivalence. And thus, for the moment, you need not overly concern yourself with the passage of time.
Convenient.
As for your companions, however, Y'shtola and Urianger have dwelled here for 3 winters, all told, while Thancred's count stands at 5.
Thancred's been
Even
here
our
for a minute.
more recent arrivals, Alphino and Alize, have lived in the first for almost a year.
So where are they?
My intention had been to summon only you, but the art of reaching across worlds has proven exceedingly difficult to master. Thus it was that my fumbling hand closed upon those to whom your fate is most closely bound as well. As they were not the object of my summons, their transference was incomplete. Though they may appear to possess corporeal bodies, they are, in truth, merely spirits that one can see and touch. Consequently, while you yourself will be able to pass between worlds with relative freedom, they will not. Much as it grieves me, they are stranded here, unable to return.
What? Well, we'll find a way to get them back, I think. I hope. Yeah, then we can find a way to send them back.
We spent every waking hour searching for a way to reverse the summoning. In the beginning, at least. As you may have surmised, however, our efforts met with little success. And then we all but abandoned the endeavor once Urianger shared with us the vision he had witnessed during his journey through the rift.
Yeah, what did Urianger see?
In that chaotic no man's land between realms, time and space warp and blend in unexpected ways. What Urianger saw was the future. That which would one day come to pass. In his vision of tomorrow, the first was rejoined with the source.
That bad
This
thing or good
collision
thing?
of worlds brought about the 8th umbral
Okay,
calamity
definitely bad.
and the deaths of countless multitudes. Amongst those who perished, Urianger clearly saw the fall of the Scion's mightiest champion. He watched you die.
Oh, great. So we know how we die. Fantastic.
And thus did the Scions embrace their exile, and began searching this world for a means to forestall the coming catastrophe in yours. Their souls are stranded in the first, yes, but they have fought on, desperate to save their home and you from destruction. Nor have their efforts been in vain, for it was they who finally established that the elimination of the Sin Eaters will indeed serve to prevent the calamity. Considering these circumstances of our meeting, you would be forgiven for doubting my version of events. And so, before all else, I would suggest you track down your comrades and hear the tale from their lips.
Yeah, let's find out where they're
I
at.
shall of course be happy to assist in these reunions, and you need not make any decisions regarding your involvement until you are certain of where you stand. Meanwhile, I promise I will not rest until I have found a way to help your friends return home. What say you? Have I earned your trust for the moment, at least?
For a moment, yes. Moment, yeah.
Excellent. You will not regret this.
I wish the narrator would be, and then she totally regretted this.
With that settled, we shall have to see about getting you ready for the road.
Road, huh?
Traveling across the rift has no doubt left you weary. I will arrange for a room where you might rest in comfort. While it's being prepared, perhaps I can show you around.
Alright, so where are we going? He's got the whole of the Crystal Tower to himself. Let's see what the Exarch has to say now. The Crystarium boasts a number of residential districts, but I've been informed that a room has just become available at the Pendants, which as it turns out is perfect. Our path there will take us past the markets, and I was hoping to give you my own introduction to their wares. Come along. Alright. So that way. The Quadrivium. So another Aethernet shard. Have I tuned to this one? I have not. see what the Exarch has to say here. Definitely very pretty.
This is the Musica Universalis, the commercial heart of the Crystarium. Aught you might need to prepare for your journeys can be purchased here.
Cool. We can buy stuff.
Ah, yes. You must be curious about the currency. Fear not. The gil you carry will serve you well enough.
Oh, convenient.
Each nation once minted its own coins, but 'twas all a jumbled mess following the flood. After much debate, the local merchants eventually elected to revert to the old ways, wherein a coin's value was decided by the worth of its metal. As for a unit of measurement, we agreed upon the term gil, a word borrowed from coins uncovered within the Crystal Tower here. And as our traders peddled their wares across the land, so too did our usage of gil become common practice.
It's a very thorough explanation of why our money's good here, which, convenient.
From what your scholar tells me, a standard coin from the source equates to exactly 1 gil here, or near enough not to matter. Our way of life has benefited greatly from the artifacts we recovered from the tower, some of which may be familiar to you.
Tombstones, I'm guessing. Shaking our head there.
But I fear it would not be practical for us to provide everything to which you are accustomed. You shall need a means to access the commodities of your homeworld.
He's not wrong.
Avan Kerm Sin?
Yes, I'm here.
What the heck is that?
I'm here. What amusements do you have for me today?
Whoa.
My dear Feo Ul, paragon of pixie kind. For you, I have the most vital task. This fine lady is a friend from a distant realm, and we have need of a means to ferry things back and forth from her home. Might you be able to assist us in this matter?
You came from beyond, didn't you? From beyond the rift? How wonderfully exciting! What a brave and reckless and marvelous thing you did! You've the heart of a pixie, you do. After careful consideration, I have decided to grant you my assistance. Make a pact with me and the fun can begin.
Fun it is.
But answer me this, traveler. Did your garments come with you when you crossed over? Your teeth? Your nails?
Yeah. Got all my teeth, nails, sword. Good to go.
Just as I thought! Then you've a good stout connection with your home through which all your belongings, great and small, may easily pass.
All right.
From this moment forth I will be your Isne Fis, and you my Sne Yak. Like the branch which sprouts from the sapling, our bond will flow unbroken from one to the other.
Awesome.
Raise your hand.
Okay, I'll raise my hand. Yeah. Said raise your hand, so alright. Oh, okay, I guess we'll go like this.
Tis done. We are bound now, dearest sapling.
Oh, that was easy.
Come then, make your request. Tell me your desire. I wish to visit this world of yours.
Mayhap a message to your friends in the source to inform them of your safe arrival.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Yeah, send a message to Tataru. She's pretty wordy. She'll
consider it done.
She'll get the word around I'm alive. Hi. Weird fairy.
As you heard,
servant.
That was Feo Ul of the Pixies. Their kind possess an affinity for magic akin to that of arcane beings. They rarely show themselves in populated areas, but Feo is insatiably curious even by pixie standards, and seems to have taken a liking to the Crystarium.
Oh.
Right, we were going to organize a room for you, weren't we? Come along.
Alright. Yep, let's get room. Apparently we're gonna be here for a minute. As a result of your pact with Faeul, you now have access to delivery moogles, market boards, and summoning bells while on the first. Sweet. Okay, so now we can get to stuff. Okay, now there's bells and stuff. So we just had to get far enough along. So it makes sense. Oh, there's a market board right there. Nice. Summoning bell. I guess this is the main summoning bell because we're lost in everything. Boko. Hey! Pet. Do I have that pet? I do not. I do now. Sweet! I got a new minion. That worked out nicely. Sorcerer fish. I don't recall those selling too much. Yeah, we'll have to vendor that. Okay. Ouch. And start these. Okay, so yeah, it's level 50 earrings. Definitely don't need those. Okay. So now we have access to all the stuff from back home. Awesome. Alright, so I guess we're going to Eastway. Definitely a main marketplace there, I'll give it that. The Wandering Stairs. Alright, so let's see what the Exarch has to say here. Ah, there you are. I was just finalizing the matter of your accommodation. You'll have a private room here at the Pendants for the duration of your stay, to make use as you see fit. When you are ready to retire, the manager will show you to your lodgings. Pray, rest, and recuperate, and we shall reconvene in the Akira anon. I mean, that covers all the practical concerns. Okay, so the Exarch has definitely made us be very comfy here. Thank you for answering my call. We are denied the comforting blanket of night, but may peaceful dreams attend you nonetheless. My pleasure to meet you, and welcome to your new home at the Pendants. Your room is ready if you care to retire. Yeah, let's head on in and see what it looks like. Quaint, I like it. Little armoire there, mirror, some food. Not bad for a home away from home. Oh, okay, open the... Ooh, that's a nice view. Oh, hello, Mr. Darkness dude. Must be the Warrior of Darkness. I wonder if it's the same Warrior of Darkness we saw in Heaven's Ward.
I know you. You're the Warrior of Light from the Source.
No? Guilty. No, I'm that person. Ooh, your axe is little... Yeah, the Warrior of Darkness. I remember him.
What? Did you just... You can hear me? Oh, gods, how long has it been?
A couple expansions ago.
That was what I called myself in your world. The Warrior of Darkness. My real name is Ardbert. I used an alias in the Source. A daft one, looking back. If you recall my tale, it was my comrades and I who caused the flood.
Yeah. And then they came to...
We thought our home doomed.
Heaven's Ward.
And so we listened to the Ascians. Let them guide us to the Source. And try to hasten their goddamned ardor. I remember when we fell, defeated by you and yours. I remember our audience with Minfilia. How she listened to our pleas and returned our souls to the First.
Yeah, last we really saw Minfilia too, to be honest.
The flood was poised to swallow Norvrem, Minfilia, and my friends. They surrendered what little they had left to hold it back. Just faded away, leaving me to bear witness.
Poor guy.
Tell me, do you know the year? How much time has passed since we caused the flood?
Yeah, about a century. Give or take.
100 years. 100 long years.
Yep. Not quite corporeal enough to pick that up, buddy.
My hands find no purchase. My gestures catch no eye, and my pleas, be they whispered or screamed, reach not a single ear. I am a shade, cursed to do naught but drift.
Yeah. Stinks, buddy.
I feel as if I've been walking forever. I hardly noticed when my mind and body began to fray at the edges. Then bang! My senses were sharp again. I felt like a fish being reeled in, and before I knew it, I found myself in this room. Why is it that you can see me? What are you even doing here, come to that?
Well, it's a long story. I got sucked through space to come here. To say the least.
You were summoned to save the first.
Yep.
A waste of time. This world is beyond saving, like those who try to save it. Muddled as my mind may be, I've not forgotten that. But if fate has brought me to you, the one person in this God's forsaken world who can see and hear me, then perhaps there is a reason I endured. If I can find out why I was left behind, then maybe I can bring this journey of mine to an end.
Seems reasonable.
Well, I'll be watching, Warrior of Light. But do me a favor. Be careful out there. This world has had its fill of heroes.
Alright, so blast from the past there. Like I said, 2 expansions ago. Seems like we're a bit refreshed now. Alright, so where we need to go now? Back to the gates, looks like? Yes. Seems that way. So the ocular, I think. Oh, we need to attune here as well, I guess. Let's see, the docile gate. I don't think we've been to the docile gate yet, have we? Yes, we have. Never mind. Let's go there. There we go. Oh yeah, right in front of the crystal tower here. Mistress Vermilia. Yes. Enter the ocular. Of course we will.
Ah, how did you find your new quarters? I trust you were able to rest?
Yeah, it was alright. Yeah, a ghostly visitor.
I was not aware the room was haunted, and you were rather tired. Well, should you receive another visitation, be sure to let me know. Now, let us return to the subject of the Scion's whereabouts.
Yeah, where are they?
This map shows the lands of Norvrand, the only area to be spared the flood of light. The Crystarium is here, in the region known as Lakeland.
Okay. Good to know.
To the north is the fairy kingdom of Eulmore. That is where you'll find Urianger.
Okay. Urianger is to the north of the fairies.
To the east lies the once prosperous civilization of Raktika. Your Stola is stationed there, in the heart of the forest. Alas, neither location can be reached without considerable difficulty.
Of course.
As such, I would suggest you first seek out one of the twins, each of whom is stationed but a short flight from the Crystarium.
Alright. Sounds like a plan.
Alphino is on Kholusia, an island off the western shore. It is home to a city called Eulmore, where the rich and privileged while away. For his part in furthering our cause, Alphino journeyed there to meet with the citizenry and forge alliances. From what I hear, he has since kept himself busy gathering information around the main settlement.
Sounds like Alphanode, okay. So he's to the west on that island. So what about the south here?
Meanwhile, traveled south to the arid wastes of Armorang. They lie upon the very edge of the inhabitable world, where the flood of light was halted. Those who dwell there live in constant fear of attack by the Sin Eaters. In contrast to her brother, Alize felt that her energies would better be spent learning about the enemy, and thus she sells her services as a guard, both to hone her skills and gather information on our foe.
Alright. Not to tour the world there, in a nutshell, I suppose.
So, will it be Kholusia or Armorang? It matters not which you choose to visit first. Simply inform me once you have made your decision, and I will see to it that you are provided with a suitable mount.
So either we go west or south.
Ah, but you must be wondering about Thancred.
Ah, Thancred, yeah, I almost forgot him.
He has taken up with a new companion, and is presently engaged as a wandering hunter of Sin Eaters. Being ever on the move, his whereabouts are often difficult to ascertain, but I am certain your paths will cross ere long.
Alright. So Thancred's a wandering hunter, and everyone else is kind of in their areas. Alright, so we got another coffer. Let's crack that bad boy open. Alright. Good to go there then. Alright, so do we head west or do we head south? I'm thinking let's head west first to that island. See what Alphanod can bring us. You'll visit Alphanod and Kholusia, then. Excellent. As I mentioned, your destination is an island off the west coast, so you'll need a mount capable of making the journey. Here's a letter of introduction. Present to Zem Genma, the master of Beset, Temenos Rookery, and he will take care of you. When you see Alphanod, be sure to pass on my warmest regards. Alright. Oh. Might as well do both. Ready to depart for Amarang? Alcé will be overseas to see you safe. I know she was particularly concerned for your well-being. She impressed upon me how regrettable the timing of her summoning was repeatedly. I only hope that my part in sending you to her will garner me some measure of forgiveness. Here, this letter of introduction addressed to a man named Kassar, the master of Merchant Caravan. There are few who know the ways of the desert as well as he does. Find him at Amaro Launch, and he will see that you reach your destination. Alright. So for right now in the journal, we'll suppress Alice's. What it was? Apparently it will not. Okay, so no matter. I'm going to exit here, and looks like we're heading westward. It looks like we have some other quests though before we get there. So let's see what this person has to say over here. Petrig. Petrig is eyeing your empty hand. Oh, you're the Crystal Exarch, yes, aren't you? Quick, take this. Ah, got you. Now I just need you to do this brief survey for me. It'll only take a few moments of your time. Speak to the people on that list and return here and tell me your thoughts on the current state of the Crystarium. Cooperation is appreciated. Okay. So if I can go this way. Let's see, does this open up here? No, it does not. Apparently you can't go that way. Let's see what Rossard has to say here. Good day, ma'am. What brings you here? Survey. In that case, I shall gladly tell you of our facility. Here in Ballistics, we store and maintain the weaponry used in defense of the Crystarium. Before you see our pride and joy, the crystal cannons. These truly inspiring pieces of artillery unleash blasts of pure aether drawn from the crystal itself. The destructive power they boast will even obliterate most scent eaters if you believe it. It's slightly unfortunate that they're so difficult to aim, I'll admit, but that's nothing that the addition of a few more cannons can't solve. Just try to dodge a dozen different blasts coming in your general direction, you creepy bastards. Wahaha. That's the idea anyway. I suppose I should let you get on with touring the other facilities, but if you have any more questions, you know where to find me. Okay. Hey there, look like if you use something to occupy yourself with. I received a flyer soliciting help at Spagarix, but I'm far too busy with my own duties to contribute. It seemed a shame to not at least pass it on, though. They do good work, vital work. If you're interested in offering your assistance, you'll find Spagarix just southwest of here. Bayhound should be more than willing to explain the specific tasks that volunteering would entail. Okay. Let's see what we got up here. Encumbered Emerald Tamer. Let's see. Roped into one of the Petrig surveys where y'all try to keep this brief then, for both our sakes. Anyways, you're likely already that the Amaro are vital in distribution and transport goods, fleet and hardy as they are. They can't transport as much as one go as a chocobo dry on carriage, of course, but the time saved by their ability to fly more than makes up for that. There's no faster way to get something to the settlements and fortifications in Lakeland than by Amaro, that's for certain. Extend down the primary area for loading goods for transport, and as you can see, the launch platform extends behind you. If you want the Amaro to carry you rather than a parcel, that can be arranged here as well. You'll need only speak to the tamers at the counter. In fact, if you had not had the opportunity to ride an Amaro, I wholeheartedly recommend that you do so while here. It's more comfortable than it looks, owing to the softness of their coats. Take that as my parting advice to you. Alright. Let's tune ourselves here. Access to the Amaro launch. You have attuned yourself to all Aethernet shards in the Crystarium. Lakeland is now accessible as an Aethernet destination. Okay, so we can teleport outside here. Aged Amaro Tamer. We have Amaro for hire if you're interested. Actually, before I forget, let me add your name to our register. That way you'll be able to come back here anytime you like. Okay, so it's like the Chocobo quarters in the other world. The Cassard, he's probably going to take us out of here. Let's see what this astute artisan has to say. Pardon me for staring, but I couldn't help but notice that you have the posture of one who has trained in martial techniques. Might beg for your assistance with a small matter. A friend of mine has recently joined the guard, you see. I was hoping to put my skills to work in crafting her armor more durable than the standard issue fare. I have measurements, of course, but I find myself unsure which parts of the garment will need to be reinforced, and will need to hang a bit loose for mobility's sake. Would you be willing to demonstrate a few common stances for me? Sure. Okay, should be show me the usual battle stance, okay? Okay, so battle stance it is. Oh, I guess I gotta do it this way. Battle stance. There we go. Might need a bit more to give around the shoulders. Would you mind throwing a few punches as well, as if you were boxing? Okay. I see, the entire torso needs to be able to twist, and the knuckle portion of the gloves could likely use a bit more padding. I believe I understand what alterations make. You've been a great help, thank you. I must say that what you're wearing seems quite finely made, but if you ever do find yourself in need of new equipment, come and find me. I would be happy to offer you a reduced rate of my custom work. Okay. Bracelet of Fending. I definitely don't need copper bracelets. Actually, I kind of do, I think, for my blue mage. Never mind. Just kidding. Forgot about my blue mage leveling-ish. Let's see, what about these? Let's see, can I jump down here? Yes, I can. Haha. Can I jump across this way? Yeah, not quite. It's alright. I'll get most of the way there. Can I get through this way? No. Oh, no matter. Can you go this way anyways? Whee! Alright, so let's talk to this guy here. This is Temeno's Rookery, where we breed, raise, and train beasts of burden. You might have noticed that the staff is primarily Zune, as because as a formerly nomadic tribe, the Zune developed the majority of the techniques for armorial husbandry that are still in practice today, and many of us are trained in them from an early age. I personally pride myself not only on knowledge of my trade, but also the ability to impart to others. It is much easier to learn something than to teach it, but unless each of us makes the effort to do both, all our ancestors strove for will someday be lost to time. Thank you for coming here. He gazed at me with such bright and eager eyes. They can only one thing: you, madame, are an aspiring breeder. No need to be embarrassed. It is perfectly natural to take an interest in the mating habits of livestock, but those secrets are not for the uninitiated, I'm afraid. You'll need to start with the basic. That means cleaning the stables. Yep, apparently, we're a warrior of light, and we get to clean out some stables. Aw, yeah. Unsavory slime, huh? Right. Let's see, what else do we need to clean out of here? So if anything back here. Oh, there we go. Clean out the chicken coop, apparently. Alright, we've cleaned the rookery. That's the spirit. Now take this pungent sack. It's for Asriel over in Sweet Sleeve. I guess we'll get to that where... Let's see, can we get through this way? No, apparently not. Definitely a good portion of the city, not accessible, oddly enough. We'll go towards the Cabinet of Curiosity. I know I need to go there. Okay. Oh, he's got a quest for me here too. Pardon me, might you be the Crystal Exarch's esteemed guest? I'd like to borrow your expertise if you have a moment to spare. There's a boy you see who frequents the cabinet regularly. Like so many of his peers, he has never experienced the world outside the Crystarium, and so he comes here to catch glimpses of it in the pages of time-worn books. I am certain that he would betray his desires to learn of the living, breathing world. However, the world as is say through the eyes of one who has seen it. Might you share experience with him? I believe you find him just up the stairs. Alright? Speak with the curious child. Oh, I guess issue in a particular volume. What tricks then you learn about the Cabinet of Curiosity? Very well, I shall endeavor to grant you insight into its purpose. The many books that surround you have been collected from every corner of Norvant. Tomes of philosophy, history, art, but also fairy tales and personal memoirs. Any written work, regardless of a level of sophistication or monetary value, is a significant and small portion of our collective knowledge, and that knowledge as a whole is what the cabinet contains. Of course, there are others far more versed in the depth and breadth of the collection. Have you spoke with Morin? Yes, we spoke with Morin. Excellent. Well, if you are very interested in perusing the tombs pertaining to a particular subject, either here or I would be more than happy to assist you. And for our part, we would welcome the addition of any volumes that you may happen upon during your travels. Alright, let's see what the curious child has to say here. You're from far away, then can you tell me what the world outside is like, pretty please? Oh, then can you tell me about the animals? There are a lot, right? Father says they're all dangerous, though. Is that true? Most are only dangerous if you make them mad. Really? Ooh, what about it looks like? Does the whole world look like Lakeland? Some of it's more different than you can ever imagine. That's true. Oh, I think I understand. Then what about traveling? Most it's not worth it. I like sea out there, and it's too dangerous, but why want to go on adventures? What do you think? It can be dangerous, but it's always worthwhile. I see. Sure, now I want to see the world, and I'm going to study it and practice martial arts. Then while I'm strong and clever, I'll go on an adventure. Thank you for letting me ask questions, and please tell Antwerp that I'm going home, and I have a lot of work to do. I wonder if Father will let me practice with his axe. Oh, good luck, kid. Maybe you'll be an adventurer one day. Alright, Antwerp, what do you got to say? Yes, I saw him dash past, eyes twinkling. I do believe in the magic of the written word. How could I not? But it's not quite the same as meeting someone who has been there, who herself is part of the wider world. I've never ventured far from the Crystarium myself, you see, so I know the wonder and fascination that comes from hearing the fireside tale of travelers. You have my personal gratitude for sharing a bit of what your young friend today. Sweet. Alright, so out we go. Let's see, I think we should take this. Where should we go to? Good job. Let's see, so we need to go that way. So Sweet Sleeve is that way. So we need to go to the main area. So let's go ahead this way. Okay, it looks like she'd be outside, but I could be wrong. Nope, she's over here. Good. Sweet. Oh, there is anyone that told you smell fertilizer? Why, yes, they do, because I have one for you. Ah, that explains that then. Thank you. Without such rich fertilizer as this, we'd never be able to grow the quantity of vegetables that we do. As you provides Zel Ganlu with produce in return. Would you mind taking it to him? Hopefully the bag isn't too heavy. It's full of root vegetables and like for the animals. They do eat quite a bit. Okay, so we traded some fertilizer for some veggies. A fair trade, I suppose. Before we get there, I think we'll go around there and see about cry for help. Definitely the Crystal Tower, though. It's odd seeing a town around it. But hey, that's what they like here in the first. Who am I to judge? Alright, so there's Feihan here. Let's talk to Feihan. You don't appear to have any gaping wounds. Are you here for a tincture, perhaps? So, if so, I'm afraid it'll take some time to prepare. So we have the flyer. Come and answer to our plea for help. Oh, thank goodness. We don't have nearly enough manpower to keep up with the demand for poultices and restoratives at present. I constantly feel as if I'm mere moments away from losing my wits from the stress of it. In fact, you're available to start right away. I'm in urgent need of someone who might go to the Oratorium for Mor Dhona, Faytail cuttings, and nectar. If you're unsure of what those look like, never fear. Lionel will direct you to the correct plant. Okay. Let's go ahead and see about over here. You returned, so tell me, how do you find the Crystarium thus far? Yeah, I'm impressed by the various facilities it houses. That's definitely a lot of stuff. As am I. They're the fruit of many years of laborers' effort on the part of the citizenry. Here in the Crystarium, everyone contributes to bettering the city. One of my own roles, by the by, is to conduct research for the Settlement Council. We want our work to reflect community values and address outstanding areas of need, and the opinions of those who are newly come to the city are always valuable in that respect. On behalf of the Council, I thank you for taking time to respond, and I assure you that your personal information will be kept strictly confidential. Hang on. Can't remember my commands here. Alright, so let's see, where do we need to go next? There's a quest down there, quest down there. We can get a transportation. There's a Ethernet there. Go for the pendants there and get a quest. Let's go to the pendants, see what quest we have there. Outside our somewhat temporary housing area. See what this do. Hume Laut. I guess that's just a generic Hume. My person for a questionable job. Ooh. Oh, you're her, aren't you? Haldor's been asking after you. You know Haldor, right? Clan Nutsies man. If you're keen to the hunt the deadliest marks for the biggest bounties, you might want to seek him out. You'll find him by the board over in the rookery, though. If I were you, I'd stay clear of the whole nasty business. Bad for one's health it is. Okay. See what Darlfort has to say over here. Seems troubled, huh? Good morrow, ma'am. I'm sorry to ask it's a patron, but could you perchance find the time to make a delivery for me? Yesterday, you see a customer, not a regular, I believe he's visiting from outside the Crystarium, came asking after a particularly strong spirit that we're known to serve, and at that time we had just run out, but I offered that our supplier would have more ready today. He told me that would be fine, but that would require it be delivered to his lodgings. He then bid quite a handsome sum in advance before consuming more than half a dozen pints of ale in short order and wandering off. The whole experience was incredibly odd. I do of course fully intend to provide him with the alcohol that he paid for, but I also cannot help but be concerned by his behavior. It seems to me that someone ought to check on him. Alas, between brewing and serving the customers, I can't seem to find the time to slip away. Could I impose you to deliver the liquor in my stead? And inquires whether the man is quite well. Edith should have the alcohol in question ready at Musica Universalis, and as far as Centric Patron, you'll find him at the Catenaries, assuming he gave me the correct information. Okie dokie. So let's see if we can find this person. First we gotta grab the alcohol. So we're making an old-fashioned beer run. Awesome. There's Edith there. Here on behalf of Dalford, I have the liquor right here. You'll be delivering this to a customer at the Catenaries, right? In that case, you'd do well to speak with the manager there. He's a helpful sort. Should make sure it gets to the right person. Okie dokie. Oh, that's to the east there, it looks like. Okay. Yes. Catenaries, something like that. There's the manager right there. I be of service. Ah, I see that guest is somewhat indisposed, I'm afraid to say, but I will ensure that the liquor is delivered into his hands if you entrust it to me. Pulp liquor. Oh. Guess I canceled it. Alcohol is so strong that even catching a whiff of it causes a brief dizzy spell. That's some good stuff then. As to his condition, it does seem to be rather severe. His cries echoed through the corridors late into the evening. Judging from what I've glimpsed, it appears that it's a mere matter of time ere he turns. But you need not concern yourself with that. Rest assured that we have matters well in hand here. That seems comforting. Yeah, I feel confident about that. Interesting though. Let's see what Darrell Fort has to say about it. A matter of time before he turns, you say. I suppose that does explain it. It's hardly a wonder that he turned to drink. I'm sure you would agree. In the throes of such agony and despair, what's a man to do? I know not if it will bring him solace in the end, but nevertheless, I thank you for making the delivery. I guess it's the least I can do. Alright, so where else? Here's an Aethernet shard over yonder. Temno's Rookery. You're back? Yes, I am. And you brought me vegetables. My, you are helplessly industrious, aren't you? At this point, I should probably confess I never actually mistook you for an aspiring breeder. I was joking, but to my complete shock, you did what I asked. So then I thought to myself, surely she'll catch on if I try to hand over a little sack of shit. But the point is I got carried away. I apologize. Please take this payment for your efforts. Basically, we got sucker in because he didn't want to carry a big pile of poo. Be the esteemed warrior yourself? Well met, miss. Well met. You're a very hard woman to track down by all accounts. Yet here you are in the flesh. How very blessed I am to make your acquaintance. I'm Haldor of Clan Nutsy. Perhaps you've heard of us. Not really. We've certainly heard of you, I can tell you that. A fighter through and through. I'll come right to it. Interested in joining the clan? Clan Nutsy? Well, heck yeah, sign me up. Apologies. Only a fool would sign up without knowing what we're about. And you're no fool, I can see that. Right. I'm no fool. The clan is how I shall put an association of adventurous souls who make a living hunting cerebral notable feats. Marks as we would want to call them. Surely you're familiar with the concept. Norvent is home to a myriad living creatures, many of which pose a threat to our good people. Thus did the Exarch, at least I think it was him, in his boundless wisdom call upon the Settlement Council to develop a framework that would encourage motivated hunters to dispatch these menaces. To wit, he breathes souls who slay marks shall receive due compensation. Not all bad arrangements, eh? You mind to reap the benefit? Speak with Zyle over there. She'll record your name, ledger, and see you registered as a clan member. Alright, Clan Nutsy member. Yeah, sign me up to be a Clan Nutsy member. At the urging of Haldor was, I see. You're playing more than capable of quitting yourself well in battle, and so I have no grounds to refuse you. I hereby accept your application to join Clan Nutsy. Check the board for relay spills. The tougher the mark, the better the reward. Hunt what you like or nothing at all. However, you may only take hunts to this day appropriate for a member of your current status, a novice. The clan is disinclined to allow unproven hunters to commit suicide by mark. Once you have achieved a sufficient measure of success, you will be permitted to pursue more dangerous feats. Do not try to die before them. Nuts to you. Clan Nutsy hunts now accessible. As a new member of Clan Nutsy, you're permitted to take bills for 1 nut clan marks from the clan hunt board. Defeat the monsters described on the bills and you'll be rewarded with tokens which can be expanded for exclusive items. To exchange tokens for exclusive items, speak with either Zyle in the Crystarium or with Eulmore and Eulmore. New quest and 2 nut clan. Ooh, 2 nuts. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. In the Crystarium Pawn Legion, level 73. Okay. Nuts board. Oh man. Oh. Okay, so I guess we have all of the mark bills. So I guess we've gotten our nuts. Alright, so let's see. This looks like I have to go upstairs for this one here. What else we got? That's a good one. So he's over there. Oh, that way. Oh, by all means, let's go this way. We're right in the area. Ish. I wonder why you can't go through that way. Oh, doesn't look like anything weird that way. It's not from what I can tell. you can just drop down here. No, oh, wee! Yep, we're going down. I guess that's one way to travel. Got us to where we need to go, hey? Oh, new assistant at Spiggerix, are you? And what can I help you with today? Ah, Dawn Failtails, naturally. Those are brightly colored brush-like plants that you see. I recommend you taking a cutting from the tallest one. We've been quite successful in encouraging their growth as of late, so you needn't worry about taking what you require. As for the nectar, you'll need to ask one of the researchers at the cauldron for that. It's a bit too difficult for the amateur to extract. Since it seems that it's first time encountering them, it may interest you to hear that the Dawn Failtail is one of the few plants that have survived from the time before the flood. Then they were kept solely for their beauty, which I agree is quite remarkable. It is time since the flood, however, we have experimented with various cultivars to intensify their healing properties. They are now used in a variety of medicines. I hope that gives you a bit of appreciation for the sort of work done here, though I apologize for the digression. I'm sure you'll be wanting to get back to Spaggerix as soon as possible. And it's quite a pretty plant. Very tall plant. Definitely a pretty plant, I'll give it that. Oh, that's cool. That's a big magic spoon stirring the pot. I need one of those. Where can I get one of those? Spiders, are you? One moment, please. This is a crucial moment for observing the results of the experiment. There appears to be very little difference in how these fertilizer components interact. It is a delicate balance, so perhaps our measurements were off, but we should also consider what is the temperature that's causing the problem. Ah, well, Fatal Nectar was it? Here you are. Have care that you put to good use. Okay, so where's Bayhan back at? Okay, so let's head back to the main area. Just need to find a teleport there. Ah, there's one back here. Yeah, we'll head back to the main area and just go around that way. It seems to be better. Good old teleport. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Welcome back, doubly so if that's what you have what you need. Yes, we do have what you need. Perfect, I'm sure we'll be putting this to use right away. The patients haven't stopped coming in, that's for certain. Our work can be grueling, I admit. Is it for a reason that many who arrive with a mind to join our ranks find themselves quitting soon after. Thus we are so perpetually wanting for personnel. It's work worth doing though, and I was glad to help you with it today. Thank you. Alright. Good deal. Let's see if we can go that way and see the sights of the first. Yeah, we'll get to that. Alright, so. So maybe I go that way? It's a trader, so. Looks like they'd be up above, so let's take a look up above. Could be wrong, but. I guess that's what it seemed like from the... Yeah, it looks like there's stuff over here, so... Hold a moment. Sinner? Sinner? You're not from around here, are you? A fellow wandering soul, an eternal habitant of the road? I thought so. There was the name. My aspiration to travel the whole wide world, though it's a far bit smaller than it used to be, so as far as dreams go, it's a lot more realistic than you might think. But danger still lurks in every corner around every bend. Even so, this sinner's got nerves of steel. He's a born explorer. There's no land too distant or place too forbidden. Aye. What is that spy poking out of your pack? A log? If I'm not mistaken, give it over if you would. Aha, I thought so. A record of fantastic vistas and unforgettable sights. We're kindred spirits. Armor of a feather. Excellent, excellent. It's only right that I share with you such wondrous experiences you will have with me. A collection of amazing vistas. A catalog myself that I guarantee will rival the best you've ever seen. Your route may be a shadow of its former glory, but there's still joy and excitement to be found if you know where to look, my friend. So I implore you, look, look, look. Follow my footsteps, savor every moment of the journey, and then when you feel you have discovered every secret Storm has to offer, start again. I promise you won't be disappointed. Shadowbringers interested in add to your sightseeing log. Level 70, blah, use your wits, and all that good stuff. Okay, we'll get that another time. But at least we have a sightseeing log for there. Alright, so we're going to find Alphanog. We're going to go this way. Your face is unknown to me. What business have you with my rookery? No, I'm supposed to be here. I got this special letter. Signed by the Exarch, no less. Yes, I can provide you with an honorable passage to Kholusia. I will pick out a friendly wealth. Not a chocobo then? A chocobo, do you hail from one of Norvent's more isolated settlements, perchance? I hear there are a few places where they ride little else, but here in the Crystarium, once like that great fellow, they are far more commonly used. Seeing as you are plainly unaccustomed to riding Eulmore, I think it's best to accompany you on this flight myself. Any Zoom worthy of the name could do it, of course, but the Exarch sent you to me, ensuring you arrive safely is my responsibility. Gather your things to meet me at the Eulmore launch. One of the junior tamers will attend you while ready to mount. Okay. So, Eulmore launch. Oh yeah, I think we got a Aethernet thing to it. Yes. Going to fly Emerald to Kholusia? Well, I suppose that Master Gemmill is going with you. Right here, please. The match should be along with the mounts shortly. You now travel to Kholusia. Speak with the expiring Emerald Tamer to fly to the island. Now also use your Aether Compass to assist with locating Aether currents in new regions. Should you lose the compass, speak with Justwind at the Emerald Launch in the Crystarium to obtain another. Lost compasses can also be replaced by speaking with Gilbride, the Forgotten Knight, and Foundation back in Ishgard. Nope, we have it. We ain't getting rid of that ever.
The whistling breeze, mute. The pounding surf, frozen. Time itself takes a breath. At light's edge, all is perfectly still. The world captured in a painting, locked in a moment. Music, faint and fleeting, drifts coastward on the lifeless air. And in the distance, beyond the broken earth, a city beckons.
Nice looking city. Very colorful. Looks cool. Let's talk to this guy here. We arrived. This is Crackshell Beach on the eastern coast of Kholusia. You should be safe here for the present. Compared to the mainland, Sin Eater attacks are far less prevalent, and the native beasts are not any more dangerous than elsewhere. It is the people you should be wary of. Spy you that city in the distance? That is Eulmore, the island's main settlement. Rivals that Crystarium in scale and was once an ally in our battle against the abominations. For years, the Eulmoran elite have fancied themselves the masters of what remains of our broken world. They have gone as far as to offer the leaders of our settlements their protection if we bend the knee. Huh. Oh, we know how bending the knee goes. Oh boy. Oh lord. But to say their ideals are questionable would be putting it mildly. The Crystarium is one among many who resist their heavy-handed authority, and while we are not at war, our relationship with Eulmore is strained at best. It may be wise to conceal your ties with the Exarch during your stay here, especially the vicinity of the city. Gotcha. Can do. I'm glad we understand each other. Now the Exarch has struck me to divulge a secret that should make finding your friend a good deal easier. Listen closely. Alright. If you head south along the coast, you'll eventually come to a fisherman's shack. A friend of the Crystarium lives there, a man who goes by the name of Ivor. Ivor keeps an eye on everything that happens in Kholusia and will be able to point you in the right direction. Just hand him a sprig of time that will let him know you can be trusted. Here, this should be enough. Find your friend. I'll stay here with the Amro until you're ready to trip. Good deal. Oh, I can finally use my mounts. Yay, good. Can't fly yet, but still, transportation is at least obtainable now. Bright Cliff. Try not to attract too much attention if we can. Although if we must, we will. Oh, that's a nice waterfall in the distance there. This has got some nice views so far, I'll give it that. Tune to the 8th right here. There we go. Talk to the Amaro Keep. We have Amaro for hire. And we don't need an Amaro porter yet. Thank you though. So where are we going? Oh, you said south. There we go. South is where we need to go. So south we shall go. Oh, we attracted some attention. I think we can lose it. And more attention. This might be the shack they were referring to. There's Ivor there. Alright, what say you? What? You're after a fish? Crap, I think I've got an eel in a barrel somewhere if you would taste for 'em. Let's hand him the time. Ooh, I do love a bit of time. Chuck some in the pants like a bloody festival flavor. Now what I can do for you? Can't say there's been any major upsets to report these past few weeks. Alphanod, eh? I know the one. Our young champion of the downtrodden. Eulmore's richer than all of Narva put together, but it's a different story for them as they live outside the city. Most spend every waking moment just trying to stay alive, which makes your friend's dedication to helping others stand out all the more. I can hazard a guess to where he is now. Get a message to him, but you'll need somewhere to quiet to me, away from prying eyes. Make for Stilltide. That's the fishing village just up the path there. You'll be looking for a rundown excuse for a tavern the locals call the Leaky Keel. Wait there and I'll see that Alphanod joins you. Okay. Almost smells like a trap, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt for the moment. Alright, so I guess we'll chill here. It's your first time in a tavern. It's customary to buy a drink if you mean to loiter. What will you be having? Give me an ale, why not? Fine choice, and what will you be paying with? Well, no, those are exact words you come by coins like that. I'm sorry, dear, but I don't doubt they have value, but I don't have a touchstone to test their purity, and I'm not to go begging for one from neighbors, so we'll just come some other arrangement. Here's an idea. There's a common to the north where we grow our vegetables, but lately the pests have been eating more of them than we have. What do you say a bit of extermination work? I want you to squash any vermin you find and visit the caretaker and give him an earful for me for sleeping on the job. He'll be in the old style next to the fence, snoring like as not. Do that for me and you can laze about here as long as you like. Alright, so beat up some beasts for a beer and some rest? Yeah, that sounds like a plan. I can live with that. Sounds like a good plan, if any, as any. Alright, so this must be the area they were talking about. There we go, blighted prop. That seems like a place to go beat up some things. It's a hostile presence. Ooh, new combat music. Oh yeah, this is the first time I've had combat since who did this thing up. Try out some of this stuff. Ooh, Blood Darkness, that was cool. Nice. Okay. Little interesting thing there. Alright, let's go try this out. So Clyde still works fine. Okay. This. That's okay. Interesting. Very different combat music, I'll give it that. Not a bad thing, mind you, just different. Blood Spiller is still kicking butt. Okay. Oops, still able to kick some butt. So good news, I can still fight. We can beat up bugs with the best of them. Let's go check the bar door here. No response. Maybe you need to knock louder. No response. Perhaps the occupant is hard of hearing? You hear a faint squeaking from the room beyond. Time to burst in and save the day, brave adventurer. No one is home, and judging by the lack of furniture, they haven't been for some time. The gnawed scrap of vegetables on the floor suggests rats have taken up residence in their absence. Alright, good. They're probably going to want me to, you know, go find this person. Ooh, an Aether Current. I'll have to eventually get all those to learn how to fly again. At least that one was easy to find. But for now, I'll just take the route by land until we can fly. Alright, we've arrived back at the Leaky Keel. Welcome back, dear. What did that good-for-nothing caretaker have to say for himself? Yeah, he ain't there. He gone. Well, must have left joined the rest of the hopefuls. In Gate Town outside Eulmore, you don't have a clue what I'm talking about, do you? There, I was thinking you were another dreamer. Well, never mind all that. Take a seat wherever you like, dear. You more than earned it. I'll even throw another drink on the house. Yeah! Free beer on the house! Yes! Adventuring is paying off.
And how is business today, Mistress Theva?
Sounds like Alphinaud.
Oh, frenetic. Look, I have a new customer.
Yeah. It's definitely Alphinaud.
'Tis good to see you, my friend. The barley seeds you wanted. They should produce a better harvest than the last.
What, just like that? Oh, Alphinaud, you really are a dear. Well, I'd best be tidying up some of those empty shacks before the pests move in. Keep an eye on the place while I'm out, eh?
So, reunited with one of our companions finally. It's good to see Alphinaud, though.
It seems an age since last we spoke. Not since the prisoner exchange in Doma. And Yotsu. It has been even longer for me, of course, if you count the days I've spent here. But the time has only added to the relief I feel seeing you safe and well.
Yep, we're still kicking. Yeah, we thought we'd lost you. We really did.
Huh. Alize said much the same thing. I don't think I've ever had such a scolding. But I believe an exchange of news is in order. Come, tell me of your arrival and all that came before.
Well, I was flying through space and I landed here and, well, met this crazy Exarch guy and now we're here.
I see. Both the Exarch and Alize told me what they knew of events, but I had stubbornly clung on to the hope that all-out war might yet be avoidable. And poor Tataru. She must be sick with worry. We must endeavor to return as soon as we may. It would be nice to bring her good tidings for a change.
Right? Agree.
But before we bid this world farewell, we must first ensure that it is not rejoined to the source. We must prevent the 8th Umbral calamity.
Yeah, that sounds like good, you know.
Urianger's vision of the future has, I fear, every chance of coming true.
Oh, fantastic.
By
So
his
we're gonna
description,
die.
the catalyst for the calamity was a formless and deadly weapon employed by the Garlean Empire. Which can only mean one thing.
Black Rose.
Black
Oh, I forgot
Rose.
about that.
Gaius was telling you the truth. When we were on the trail of the Asians, we saw evidence that the gas was being manufactured once more.
This is a very bad gas. I mean, kill everything.
Gaius was adamant that the project had been scrapped. But so long as there are wars to be waged, there will always be those determined to win by any means. And thus simply destroying the existing stores of Black Rose would do little to alter fate's course. In that sense, our involuntary journey here to the First was something of a boon. Together with the Exarch, we've developed a theory as to how we believe the rejoining will be set in motion.
Okay, do tell.
I'm sure Urianger himself will cover the subject in more detail.
Oh, okay, well then
But
whatever.
I can tell you the process requires that both worlds, the Source and the First, be facing an existential threat.
Okay.
One being Sin Eaters, of course.
Alright, we kick their butt.
They are a menace that I would dearly love to remove, and not just to avert a calamity. I may be a stranger to this world, but I will not stand idly by and let innocent people be slaughtered. That is what brought me to the gates of Eulmore. Ignoring its pretensions as a kind of capital city to what remains of the world, it is nonetheless a center of power and authority.
Looks cool too.
If any solutions are to be found, I believe our search should begin there. What say you, old friend? Hungry for another adventure?
Sign me up. Let's do this. Yeah, that's right.
And so we take to the road once more.
Alright, good to know. Alright, off now, what you gotta say here? Alright, take the road once more. Assuming you have no objections, let's make our way directly to the city outskirts. If we time our arrival just right, you may be lucky enough to see why I have yet to set foot in Eulmore, despite my best efforts to do so. Come from here, we must head west, and then cross a small bridge. Alright, let's head that way then. Oh, looks like we have quests here as well. Hold on. Strong-willed wife. Huh. Well then. Strong-willed wife. The strong-willed wife taps her foot in impatience. Oh lord. Of all the useless you there, have you seen a timid mouse of a man cowering in the corner somewhere? I'll talk about my husband, clumsy, overcautious clod that he has. All I asked for was to bring some shellfish here for dinner, and he's been gone for bloody hours. Hate to inflict my troubles on a stranger, but if you're head down to the beach and spot my good-for-nothing husband, tell him to go move on with the main course. Yes, ma'am. Then Caddy here. Should be enough to last us at least until those Scully buggers taken care of. These days it seems there'd be no more pests than living in still tide. What with all the hopefuls running off to Eulmore. Excuse me. Those flying lizards are the worst of the lot, though. You can't even leave for an honest day's work anymore without a swarm of them flapping sky demons nipping at your heels. Someone needs to topple that little tyrant. None of us fancy losing fear, but maybe you're up to a challenge. If you're keen to draw him out, just skewer a couple of his broodmates. That'll get his attention soon enough. Alright. Let's go kick some butt. Oh wait, we got another quest over here. Let's Forlorn Fisherman. Sigh. All that sigh wasn't for you. I was just thinking about a friend. That damn fool got tired of his hard life, you see, and tried to sail to the mainland in our little fishing boat. Said he'd come back and fetch me after he'd found his fortune. His body washed up on the beach yesterday. Aww. Wonder if his last thoughts were for his home or shores of a new land he never reached. Actually, miss, if you'd nothing better to do to listen to me sob, I'd appreciate hand collecting his belongings. They're scattered along the sands, but I don't know if they'll find them all before the waves steal them out to sea. Well then. I'll see what we can find. Say hobgoblins, that's new. Let's see, we got a necklace here. A ring over here. I could swear that almost looks like the cliffs that the Game of Thrones Daenerys and Drogo wedding looked close by. If I knew any better. Huh. Could be wrong, but it does look a little like it. Go, found his belongings. Alright, let's go this way and get this other quest done for finding the hesitant husband. With a wife like that, I'd be hesitant about going back there too. Whew. Man, guy's got cut out for him there. Oh, there he is, hiding in the corner too. Who are you? What do you want with me? The wife's wondering where I am. Has it been that long? I tried to dig up one of those tide clams that she likes, a good sized one too, but a claw shot out from under her hand and almost clipped my arm off. You seem capable, so do you think you could lend me a hand? Oh, thank you. You should be able to find the spot. I was digging not far from the water. Just watch out for those snippers. Alright. Guess I can't leap above that rock. Oversized tide clam. Up time to kick some booty. Seems like a pretty easy rotation now. There we go. Kicked his butt. Alright, so let's head back to the hesitant husband there. Not missing a limb or anything, are you? No, we're good. There you go. Yes, look at the size of this thing. My wife will be pleased. She'll be mad that I had to ask you for help, but it'll be worth it when she sees the pliers you claim. In fact, I'm sure she'll want to thank you in person. Come on, let's head back to the village. Alright, so let's head back this way. Did you find anything? Why, yes, we did. Quite a few things, actually. Ah, these are things, alright. We made this route ourselves, me and him. I lost count of the number of times we slipped away to go fishing instead of grubbing about in the fields. So you should have known better than to try crossing those choppy waters in that tiny boat. I told him, wicked white. How many times I told them, and then the divide swallowed him up and spat him out, that damn fool. I suppose I better bury these bits and pieces when I get back to work. Thank you for your kindness, stranger. Ooh, that's a pretty dress. I like that. My apologies, stranger. It seems my husband caused you more trouble than I expected. Your proper pain in the posterior you are. Here, take this and drop it off at the leaky keel. Yes, ma'am. I hear he slew some shelled monster when I came between him and that clam. Good thing, too. If he'd stood his ground, I'd be burying whatever parts of him was left. Thank you. The man has his faults, but strike me if I don't love them all the same. Aww. I'd best be making something to fill his belly when he comes back. A nice thick clam stew, I reckon. Get our Magitech armor out. Oh yeah, we gotta get some whoop tails going on here. Oh, foot. Should probably get my companion out. Didn't think about that. My chocobo friends. Oh, there's the... Alright, good go. The good old fat chocobo. Let's see what Caddy has to say. Got the body little bastard then. Shall be praised. Now maybe we can work the fields in peace. If you hadn't done the deed, I was afraid we'd start running out of food, and I've no wish to watch anyone starve to death. I knew we could move to Gate Town and live on handouts of meal like the rest of them, but we have our pride. There's a choice in the matter. We'd rather take care of our own needs while we can, with a little help from the battle-savvy traveler such as yourself, of course. Alright, nowhere to... What did Alphinaud say he'd be? I forget how this is... Oh, there we go. Looks like he's directly west. Okay. Southern crossing here. Okay. Alphinaud just chilling in the middle of the road here. Kholusia seems peaceful, does not? Almost familiar. I had such a similar impression of the Crystarium. Even in the distant world, people are much the same. I think wherever a calamity struck, the source of reflections such as this one, with all its culture and history, was being erased from existence. No, get away from me. Over there. Quickly, someone's in trouble. That is one big iguana. I probably should change my chocobo party now that I think about it too. And tender love. That don't look like no tender love to me. Just saying. Good there. Alright, man. My poor heart, thank you. Ah, there you are. In my haste, I lost my bearings, but I see you have the situation well handled. Fine work. Are you alright? Just a few bruises from what I found, nothing compared to what was in store for me before this brave soul came to my rescue. I honestly thought I was done for. My feet are not as swift as they once were, and I knew there was no one left to hear me scream. Not that I'd let that stop me. I should probably leave my old house behind and queue up outside Eulmore with the rest of them. Doubt those fancy lords and ladies would welcome an old crone like me. Still, even a shack near the gate has to be safer than staying here. One would hope. Either way, I suggest you avoid wandering alone, lest you make the Sin Eater's task any easier. Thank you again, you saved my life. Now I'm sure a strapping lass like you has little to fear, but I wouldn't linger along in this place. There's not to be had here but cobwebs and memories. Tis as the lady says, many of these parts have abandoned their homes to live in Eulmore's shadow. Should the Sin Eaters descend upon this region, there are precious few with the strength to fight them off. Speaking of which, where have you been told these monsters? Yeah, not much. Brief history then. 'Twas not long after the flood swallowed the better part of the world that the Sin Eaters first appeared, some beastly, some beauteous. Yet regardless of their form, all seem incapable of speech, and all are driven by the same insatiable appetite for mortal aether. They are predators, and we are their prey. Kholusia suffers from far fewer attacks than most regions, but even so, the list of the Sin Eaters' victims grows longer by the day, a tragedy without end. Still, we have won a small victory this time at least. Now shall we press on? We need to return to where the road forks and follow the path that leads west. Okay. Alright, let's see if we can change our chocobo barding up a bit. It's been a while since I've done anything with it. Let's go for something more... Let's see, we're in the summertime, so how about we do some... plume barding with some... Let's see what else we got here. To do the Manderville barding. I have a Manderville. Hang on. I should have a Manderville. There we go. Ah, nice. That'll work. Go with that for now. Why not? Alright, so let's continue on our journey. Discover new location. Huzzah. I forgot what that's like. It's been a while. Definitely a big monsters thing there. Let's avoid that. At least for the moment. A whale's breach. This is Gate Town. Whoa. So it looks like that they're all... So, from what I can tell here, it looks like a whole bunch of poor people being shut out of the city. I mean, that's a huge shanty town from, like, back in the 1920s-ish, kind of, or Great Depression era, I should say. Huh. Definitely not what I expected.
That gate up ahead is known as the Open Arms, and Eulmore itself lies beyond. This, meanwhile, is the aptly named Gate Town, the dwelling place of the many desperate souls who hope to be chosen to live in the city proper.
Apparently they're not kind to refugees, they just stack them outside the gate.
I thought I recognized you. Brought it. I'll bet you got a trick or two up your sleeve. Maybe even 3. Care to show me?
What kind of trick would you like to see? My sword?
She's not here to compete. Leave her be.
What? I was only making conversation.
The trumpet off in the distance.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please!
This... What? What the what? I know that music. That's Final Fantasy 4/2.
To our hopeful petitioners, one and all, Eulmore extends its warmest regards.
That's the Dolls music.
Let it be known that a lady of distinction wishes to dine on fish divine. We seek a master culinarian who can guarantee seafood perfection. Dazzle the matron with your delicious dishes, and life in the city will be yours to enjoy, even on days when fish is not on the menu. Who among you will answer the call? Name yourself or another. We may not at all.
Was there anyone?
What about that girl?
Do you recall how I said Eulmore was a center of power and authority? Well, that is not the only reason for its fame. It is also known as the City of Final Pleasures. The noble and the wealthy who survived the flood gathered here to live out the rest of their days in decadent abandon.
So basically, a bunch
poor
of people...
man could sooner pass
so
through
basically, a
the eye than
retirement
needle than
home
Eulmore's gates.
of a higher calling.
The only way the common folk can enter this perverted paradise is if they fulfill the whim of one of the privileged. And so they are picked over like market produce.
What a catch! We'll not be throwing this one back. Having seen your all too obvious charms, we welcome you with open arms. Come, join us in a city of splendor and live out your life in an ecstasy of endeavor.
Well, they're all cheerful for them. That's good.
Oh, just look at those expectant faces. What could you possibly be waiting for? Well, what have we here? An extra share of meal to celebrate our newest resident.
Well, it's to keep them happy for the moment.
For you.
Ah, at last.
Enjoy.
Thank goodness.
Meal is a foodstuff which Eulmore routinely doles out to the people of Gate Town, and apparently a staple for its citizens as well. Many here rely on it to survive in these times of scarcity. Yet the whole arrangement just seems...
Weird? Weird. Very weird.
Let us just say it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Almost like Hunger Games kind of thing. Actually, it does ring very Hunger Games-ish kind of thing now that I think about it. It doesn't bode very well for these citizens, but for now, I suppose, until we find out otherwise. So, a pair of twin jester ladies. Hopefully they're not the Harley Quinn kind of jesters, or we're in for a treat of the worst kind, probably. Alright, let's see what Alphinaud's got to say then. Now you understand why my attempts to enter city have thus far come to naught. The dubious privilege of residency must be won via a contest of ever-changing rules. They say the policy has been in place for over 2 decades, ever since Eulmore's current ruler came into power. Yet from what I've seen, it does more harm than good. Not only does it distract people from our shared struggle against the Sin Eaters, it robs them of their self-sufficiency. I've tried to propose ways they could improve their lot, but my words invariably fall on deaf ears. The attitude is so entrenched now. I worry that, well, mayhap you should take a turn around Gate Town and judge the situation for yourself. Indeed. Hey, heck, some of the buildings in Fallout look better than this stuff. That's saying something. Oh, I thought there was... Oh, never mind. There's a bloke guy again. Hey, he's a fun guy. Still here, are you? Can't blame me for wanting a slice of Eulmore's pie. If you ask me, you should ditch that sour-faced brat and make a home for yourself here. Gate Town's not much to look at, but at least it's safe. And the meal is the best thing I've ever tasted. Probably because it's the only thing you've ever tasted. Oh, that's neither here nor there. Worried wave. Please, won't anybody help us? What's wrong? It's my brother. His belly hurts so much he can't even move. I don't think the fresh water we brought was fresh at all. Could you talk to the potion maker for us, miss? I already tried, but when he started explaining things he wanted for medicine, I got scared and ran away. Alright, we'll talk to this potion maker of yours here in a minute. Let's see what else is down this way first. Aspiring songstress. What have we here? Nemira, come to exalt in the purity of my vocal splendor? No, well, sigh. Gur, you would feel honored to meet me if I was ever allowed to test the limits of my instrument. One day I shall be the talk of Eulmore, nay, of all Norvant, but first I must secure a venue in which to practice. If I sing but a fraction of my full volume, the Cretans around here become so unreasonably angry, insulting even. Thus I have taken to finding a quiet spot near the coast. And even there, my scales and trills seem to drive the wildlife into a frenzy. I can scarce begin my practice for him, before I'm forced to flee from some enraged beast. I mean, you look like to have seen your fair share of fighting. What say you to standing guard and allowing me my fair share of singing? Pretty, please? Well, since you asked nicely, I suppose. Large pot bubbles over the flame. Pale chunks meal, you realize, float in the otherwise plain broth. So, I guess they don't know much about seasoning and flavor. Oh, my poor sensitive nose, do you not smell that awful stench? What we require here is strategically placed satchel of ground Kholusian sage. The trouble is I'm not quite willing to die in the process of obtaining said herb. But what have you missed? There's sage of plain near the clay that should be promised of reward. Overshadow any fear you might have, stabbing tooth and rending claw. 2 generous bunches should suffice. Let's keep taking a look around here. Oh, apparently there's a vista here, so... I can't remember. It's been a while since I've done vistas, like, at all. Okay, so I think it's a lookout, if I remember correctly. There we go. We got a log entry. Huzzah. Sweet. 1 down. Probably a bunch more to go. Just look at it. Can you imagine a more beautiful city? Every day I dream of the life that waits for me inside these walls. Oh, will they ever pick me? Oh, let's find out some here. Oh, what I wouldn't give for just 1 mouthful of juicy meat. I've eaten naught but meal for more moons I can count. I mean, I'm grateful for the handouts and all, but sometimes a man needs variety. If I had a roasted game bird about now, I'd strip that beauty down to the bone. Maybe you try catching one of those tragopons? It's like asking to have your eyes pecked out. What, you reckon you could do better? Go ahead then, make me eat my own more, just as long as they come with a side dish of bird flesh. Make sure you bring it back alive and kicking, you understand? Here's a rope to truss it up, and a sack to carry it. You might need to daze it a bit first. Alright. Alright, so we won't speak to Alphanod just yet. Let's go ahead and complete these side quests. Yeah, Alphanod, we'll be back for you in a minute. There's a Tragapan there. That should be almost weak enough for us to trap it there. Let's go ahead and try to. There we go. Alright. Yep, we got it. Alright. Let's see upon these potion maker next. See if the potion maker wants. Welcome, welcome. What concoctions are you after today, then? Ah, yes, I remember. The young girl and her ailing brother. I used the last of my bark, you see, and all I wanted for her to gather some of the trees up the cape. Wish you ran off if you think I asked for a bowl of her blood or something. You're welcome to collect a few strips there instead if you like, although I don't expect you'd want the bother. Still here? Very well then. Find some trees, use this knife to very carefully peel away 3 pieces of nice dry bark. I won't hold my breath. It's comforting. Well, we'll go do what we got. Wonder what that is there. Almost looks like the base of the wall from Game of Thrones. It's like a huge elevator thing of some sort. Hope that there's no walkers or anything like that. That's the last thing we could use. Alright, so here's the trees, I guess. That's not what I'm looking for. There we go, knife. Okay, 2 pieces of bark. Alright, so let's head down around the coast here. Follow this fellow adventurer over here. Seems like we're heading the same way. Play the sage here and here. Let's go there. Go there. Oh, we got interrupted there. Not bad. Okay. Apparently we need to go this way. Okay. Oh, apparently we're attracting some attention. A lot of attention. Oh boy. Oh then. Okay, good. We lost the attention. Ah, 'tis so invigorating to sing here. I feel as if my voice rings clear across the sea. Now, if you'd so kind to interrupt any nuisances before they ruin my practice, should be most appreciative. Let's do this and then see if we can kick some booty. Booty kicking time. So where's the other one? I know there was a second one. Where'd it go? Try this again. Apparently that didn't work so well. One must have got pulled away or something weird. Alright, so far combat seems pretty nice. Definitely a little bit more simplistic since I don't have the dark arc before pretty much every move. Do a big ugly. There we go, he gone. Alright, so let's talk to the aspiring songstress over here. Ah, that was simply wonderful. You know how long it's been since I was last able to sing my heart's content. And that's all thanks to you. Let's return to town so I might show you the proper gratitude. Alright, let's get out of here. Let's go back to Potion Maker first before we head back to that gate town. Seems like a better idea. Yeah, we're definitely going the right way, so we're good there. Ah, I see you finally came to your senses. Let's have that knife back then. Alright, you can have your knife and you can have that dried bark. What's this? You actually went to harvest the bark? But what you could possibly hope to gain? Kindness will get you nowhere in this rotten town. What a rare soul you must be, but I suppose I have no choice but now to mix up the cure I promised. I mixed some herbs and powders together with the bark you brought. A few pellets a day should soon settle the aches in the lad's stomachs. Never mind the payment, after all, it's you who's done most of the legwork. You know, I'd hoped to trade my healing skills for a life in Eulmore, but maybe my place is here amongst the poor and desperate. To help this for the sake of helping, to be needed. Aye, it's not a bad feeling. Alphanod, we won't talk to you just yet. Alright. Did you go see the potion maker? Yep. Guess what? Oh, for my brother? Oh, thank you, miss. You saved his life. You'll be wanting coin, right? I'm not sure we What do you mean nothing? Here, you must take this at least. I collect them myself. Thank you again. Alright, quest complete. Open that coffer. Have a ring of fending. Head down here and complete the other 2 quests that we have going. Inspiring songsters. Thank you ever so much for your help. I almost wish I could keep you as an assistant. I know I seem to be struggling through a rough patch at the moment. Once I make a name for myself in Eulmore's cabaret show, the privilege will be climbing over each other to offer me patronage. And then, wealthy and famous, you shall have the reward you deserve. For now, however, this is all I can afford. Consider it an advance payment. How fared your harvesting efforts? Well, pretty good, actually. Yes, this is a goodly amount. My thanks. A moment while I prepare an experimental setch. I'll just grind these up and sprinkle this, dash that, and it's done. It is asking akin to inhaling a springtime breeze. I must producing these fair scented pouches in bulk. You must have the privilege of putting my aromatic creation to the test. Place one of these sachets behind this foul-smelling shack and inform me of the results. Okay, let's find out. Rank fumes permeating the air are slowly replaced by a pleasant, refreshing scent. Which is good. I want it to smell like butt. Did my satchel prove the victor in the contest of fragrances? Yes, yes it did. Well, that's satisfying to hear. I shall continue manufacturing these pockets of sage and proceed with secreting them about the place. The thing of it is, the folk of Gatetown often paw through the refuse discarded by the free citizens of Eulmore. Such salvaged items have, however, spent no short span of time moldering amongst actual garbage, thus the offensive odor I've been forced to endure, but no longer. Thanks to you, my olfactory senses will be spared. Pray accept this token for your trouble. Lastly, this forager over here. Tell me there's a bird in that sack. Ah, yes, we have a bird. Oof, that's a feisty one. Nice work, stranger. Ah, seeing this fellow's all trussed up for dinner table reminds me of being back in Stilltide. It's been years since I left to chase after Eulmore's promises, but I'm no closer to getting through that gate than when I started. Maybe it's time I gave up on the hollow dreams and went to my old mom. Anyways, my thanks for the bird, friend. Okay, this coffer, an earring. Alright, good to go. Let's go talk to Alphanov. Since we have completed the quest outside here of Eulmore. You've seen what Gatetown has to offer? These people can no longer fend for themselves. They become dependent on handouts and mule and believe Eulmore is the answer to all their woes. No matter how I frame my encouragement, they seem unwilling, nay, unable to conceive of any other way of life. That coffer. Excellent. Ending. Oh, helpful. Alright, Alphanov, what's next? Alphanov, where is it? Lip of disapproval. Can't imagine why. You disapprove of Eulmore? It is difficult to make a final judgment without first seeing the city's inner workings. Perhaps it is that uncertainty which always makes me feel so ill at ease here. Not that it matters, however unjust the system seems to be. If these people claim to be content with their lot, it's hardly my place to criticize their choices. But take that elderly lady you rescued. It does not seem that those who have chosen to forego Eulmore's largest are doomed to suffer for their independence. In the end, they are all but forced to seek refuge in Gatetown, and so hamlets and fields across the island are left empty and untended, hastening the region's descent into ruin. Nay, I'm not convinced that Eulmore's generosity truly serves the best interests of Kholusia's people. I'm not so naive to think that there is some miraculous solution to all of this, yet I cannot help but frown at the sight of the hard-working villagers struggling to survive, even as the chosen few rejoice at being plucked from poverty by the hand of a capricious noble. There has to be a better way. I will not know for sure, however, until I have taken these long-delayed steps into Eulmore's gates. It is fortunate that you arrived when you did. I have been working on a scheme to insinuate myself in the city. If all goes to plan, it should soon come to fruition. There's a beast tribe who makes its home in the sea surrounding the island. The Ondo, they are called, though, and I know them as Saigan. For the most part, they keep themselves in the ocean grounds and rarely have dealings with land dwellers. But as Tachura took such great pains to impress upon me during our stay in Kagane, business favors the bold, so I reached out to them. I duly discovered that the Ondo are inordinately fond of land-grown produce, fresh fruits in particular, and when I offered to procure such goods for them, they promised to pay me in pearls. An attractive business venture for any prospective investor, would you not agree? Surely even the most jaded Eulmorean lord would have time for a merchant who can make pearls from plums and pumpkins. Yes, I've come a long way since my days of buying samurai swords without first negotiating a price. Yeah, I remember that. My appointment with the Ondo is due to take place in a few hours. I just need to collect the produce and meet with them on the shore. Might you help me make the exchange? Of course we will. Excellent, I should be glad to be accompanied. First things first then, we must pay a visit to Moshamoa, my supplier in right. Come, it's just to the northwest of here. Northwest we go. So just an edgy I guess I'm guessing that little town up ahead, if I had to guess. Seems to be the way to go. Discovered new location, huzzah! Let's go ahead and attune to the Aetherite here first. Perfect. Let's see about this Moshamoa. Is there something I can do for you, friend? Good day, you Moshamoa. This is my associate. We are here to collect the produce I purchased. I loaded your lackey up with the goods not long ago. My lackey? I know no such person. Mr. Lad, short blue-haired, no. He said he'd come on your behalf. Since you seem to know all the details, I just assumed. About it, so much of it been eavesdropping our conversation. If the charlatan was not here long ago, he could not have gone far. We should split up and search the area. Find a vantage point on the south side of the town, I shall take the west. So let's head to the southern part then. There's our destination right here. Search trying for a male minstrel with short blue hair. You may move the camera as well as zoom in. Okay, so let's take a look. Oh, that's not him. That looks like a person. Yeah, that's a blue-haired minstrel there. You located your quarry. Looks rather skittish. Any sign of him? Yeah, right over there. You have a keen eye. Let's move in before he makes good his escape. Charge. Looks like we're gonna have to kick some butt first before we talk to this guy. It seems I've lost my compatriot. Somehow we shall resummon him shortly. Yeah, he looks a little lost there. Yeah, there you are. Caught you. Oh, hey, dog. Careful.
The thief who claimed the harvest on my behalf. Hand it over.
Well, forgive me. I have to get into the city. I have no family and all my friends have already been chosen. No one here gives a damn about me. When the meal gets handed out, I'm lucky if I get a smell of it. No matter what I do, they won't call out my name. I'm so tired, I'm so bloody hungry. I thought maybe I could steal your idea, get in that way.
What is your name?
Kai Shear.
Kai Shear, huh?
Tell me then, Kai Shear, must it be Eulmore or nothing? What of the Crystarium? They may not offer charity, but you would be fairly compensated for any work you did.
No, it has to be Eulmore. That's where all my friends are. We made a promise that we'd live together in paradise.
I was to make my deal with the Ondo at the Clave. Listen carefully, and I shall tell you my plans for the business, and how best to arouse the Eulmoran's interest.
You'll give me your place? Just like that?
I'm giving you a chance, nothing more. What comes of it is entirely up to you.
I understand. Oh,
This was but one path. There will be others. But
yeah,
I do not regret my decision. Yet I will admit that a part of me wonders if it was for the best. We strive to bring swift salvation to this world. That countless lives might be saved, not least your own. Even if it came at the cost of one man. Should I have forged on regardless?
Yeah, it's not who you are, though.
I suppose not. Were Estinian here, he would most likely scoff at my soft-heartedness.
Same old Alfino, ever the slave to sentiment.
But I thank you for your kind words nonetheless.
I wonder whatever did happen to Estinian.
Let us see to it that both these stories have a happy ending. Shall we return to Rite then? Is that?
Not seeing anything that way. What'd you see, Alphanod?
I can't be sure, but I think someone's in trouble. Come on, they may need our help.
Alright, let's go check them out. hopefully can make it over there in one piece to that person. New location discovered. Guards. Doesn't look like much there. Now looks like Alphanobby is to it first. Alright, let's see what this up with this person. This should take care of the worst of his injuries. Mercy, mercy, I beg you. Okay. Breathe easy, sir. No harm will come to you here. Poor man is shivering. Pray keep an eye on him while I get fire going. Thought for certain I was dead. How am I ever to repay this kindness? We'll suffer the tale behind your current predicament. Why don't you begin by telling us your name? Crystal, I was invited to Eulmore to work as an artist. Wealthy couple took me to paint pictures for them, but when my style proved contrary to their taste, they just as quickly turfed me out onto the street. I was left penniless and patronless at Graveston in Lord Barthry's city. Within days they had brought me before the man himself, and he asked me what I meant to do. Dejected as I was, I told him that I wished to leave. Little did I know how soon he would grant me my wish. They flung me over the balustrade into the ocean. From out there, how are you not dashed to pieces? Don't ask me. Luck, I suppose, though if you hadn't found me when you did, it wouldn't have counted for much. Monstrous, and the citizens condone such barbaric punishment? Oh, without a second thought, when Lord Valtry passes judgment, no one so much as blinks, let alone argues. In Eulmore, his word is law. The more I hear about Eulmore, the more determined I am to see what waits within its walls. I shall bend all my thoughts towards securing another way to see. There must be something we can do, but first we should convey Crystal to the shelter of the village. Fire or no fire, he needs to be out of this chilly coastal air. Away into the city. Take the long way around. Alright, so we're almost back to the village here. Pray accept my deepest gratitude. I owe you both my life, and if you'll permit me, I will assist you in your attempt to enter Eulmore, insofar as I'm able at any rate. To be frank, the thought of sending my saviors into that awful place makes me sick to the stomach. But since it's plain you set your minds on it, you should take this. It's my favorite paintbrush. The Eulmore elite are never satisfied until they get exactly what they want, and if I'm not mistaken, the couple I mentioned will be looking for someone to replace me. To make a show of owning such a well-used brush, you may be able to convince people you have a talent for painting. Are you certain this is your livelihood? We cannot deprive you of such a treasured possession. I give it gladly after you have done for me. Besides, I don't think I have the heart to paint anymore. As to what I'll do instead, I honestly haven't decided. I shan't stay long in this place, not with that city brooding over me. Nay, I'll move on to new lands and new profession. I'll keep you in my prayers from now until my dying day. They say kindness is its own reward, but Crystal has repaid us with gift as timely as always unexpected. We will, however, need to act upon this advice before another painter steps in to fill the vacancy. Thankfully, I do have some modest skill with the brush. Nothing approaching that of a true artist, of course, but enough to play the role, I would hope. As for you, well, if you don't mind taking a subordinate role, maybe you could pose as my assistant. Then settled. All we need to do now is return to Gate Town and wait the next experience of those vile jesters. There's a lot of side quests here, too. You're not wrong about it. Ooh, and unlocks Aether Current, which is also good. Oh, who are you? Forgive me, it's not often we see travelers in Riot with how dangerous it is hereabouts. I even worry for my husband taking the road down to the shipyard. He's as strong as Talos. He has been gone a good while though. If you're headed that way, could you please let him know his wife is expecting him at home? I'm sorry, miss. Tell me you're a warrior of some kind. You see, there's a gang of bandits who moved in the area. They used to be residents of Eulmore, but we were exiled for stealing from free citizens. Now they've taken the stealing from us instead. Anyone who tries to stamp them gets a good beating for their trouble. Folks say they're former soldiers, and seeing how these bastards fight, I'm inclined to believe them. We're just farmers here. We need someone who can stand up to them. Someone who knows their way around a weapon. Could that person be you for us? Well, I suppose. You'll teach them a lesson then. We've already hatched a plan to track down their camp, poked a hole in the harvest sack and left its bait. There's a trail of grain now, leading away from the village to the east, so you might want to start your search there. Excuse me, miss, you seem with a well-traveled sort. Would you be willing to accompany me to the Clave in return for reward? There's a bit of problem, see. We take turns manning the watchtowers hereabouts, but the last few folk have been driven away from the lighthouse post by sudden and terrible headaches. Every single one of them remembers hearing some kind of screeching wail. We don't know if we're dealing with a sea witch or roaming banshee, but their allegory sounds awful enough to chill your blood. Unfortunate for me that I have you to back me up. Pray follow me to Clave. Okay? Let's see what else we got. You want to hear a ghost story? Of course you do. The old pig farm over yonder once belonged to a family known as the Greeleys. It was around 10 winters ago now that their entire sty was butchered by a pack of wild animals. The farm never recovered and the family scattered to the winds. The Greeley's daughter and her betrothed sought refuge here in Riot, but misfortune grasped would not surrender them so easily. The lad was slain by when the Eater attacked our village, and the last, mad with grief, threw herself from the bridge that bears her family's name, drowned right here in the river. Ever since, folk have avoided this spot, convinced that the Greeley Bridge is haunted by the girl's anguished spirit. You think that tale is a tall one? Go to the bridge yourself then and call out her name. Okay. Seems like a case for Sam and Dean more than anything else, honestly. I mean, let's be real. It's got someone killed himself, local legend, according to the lore. You know, we're in the middle of Supernatural, so apparently. Excuse me, but you aren't the lady Alphanal was traveling with, aren't you? I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch your name. Ah, how lovely to meet you. My name is Euless. I'm the acting village mayor. I was hoping some of your towns would pass through right before long. The thing is, I need someone to visit up at Stonegazer, but I'm afraid to walk the path alone. Do you think you could provide an escort? Sure. I think so. I just couldn't bring myself to ask one of the villagers. You see, there was an incident a while back where a veteran band of hunters were badly mauled. Simply mentioning that it's unsafe to wander outside the village these days would be enough to bring back memories of that grisly scene. Which is why it's been so difficult to even bring up the subject. Such does not change the fact that the roads are indeed dangerous. Pray meet me on the path to the north and be prepared to fend off the wildlife. One last quest over here to accept. Excuse me, miss, are you a fellow visitor here? Yes, I wonder if you'd be willing to perform me a trifling service. I serve a particular family of the Eulmore elite, and it's the behest of my patron, a man with discerning taste for fine drink, that I ventured into the famous breweries of Rite. Oh, do you not partake yourself? Otherwise you would surely be aware of Rite's incomparable ale, and its growing reputation amongst the privileged of Eulmore. In recent years, however, it seems distribution of this gold liquid has ground to a halt, thus I have been sent to make a purchase directly from the source. A simple task, you might think, except the people of Rite are not overly receptive to visitors from Eulmore, downright dismissive in fact. You understand my dilemma? I need you to speak to the villagers and procure a supply of ale my steed, a service which would be paid most handsomely. There's a villager here. We want to buy some Rite ale? Well now, We was indeed famous for ale once, but that is age long past, and may barley regrilled is bound for the oven or cooking pot. There's not to be spread for brewing beers and like. Put that young back to work bringing in the harvest though, and I might be convinced to part with the bottle for my private stock. Looks like we got our work cut out for us. Oh, there's Euless there. We're under attack. We're definitely doing pretty good at the kicking up the butt, so. There we go. Save Euless. Well, what did I tell you? I was barely 10 steps out of the village. Come, let's hurry along before my more brothers have a chance to gather. East here. There's something way to the east there. Ah, some scattered grain. Oh, grain continues to the east. See what we can find to the east then. Okay, to south. So we're hunting the trail for the stolen goods. We got a sneaky rat, boys. Better grab him by the tail before it squeaks to its mates. Oh, I think we better bring out our chocobo companion for this one. Got them all. We have defeated the banditos. Let's see about this farmer over yonder. Out here. They maybe should split up and have more look around. Once you're satisfied there's not fun, you can meet me back here at the, or meet me back at the lighthouse. So, investigate the cliffs, I suppose. Ooh, that's a long way down there. Let's be careful. There we go. Not too bad. Hear nothing but the lapping of the waves. Check out destination number 2 here. Waters here swell and crash with violence, raveling the stormy seas of Nausicaa, but nothing as far as Crazy witches. Let's see what destination number 3 has in mind. I think you hear a faint noise, but maybe you imagined it. Let's check out the faint noise then. I heard it, that terrible voice argued the pain. I can feel my head splitting in half. The farmer seems to be in no state to talk. Perhaps you can soothe them with a few calming words. So let's soothe him. I think I might live, thank you. The keening din seemed to pierce my very skull. I never heard the likes of it. There truly is a sea witch who murders sailors with her cursed screams. Then that is how I imagine her voice would sound. At least now we know which areas are too dangerous to approach. Come, we must return to right so I can share this with the others. What quest is that? Bridge to the arrow. That's the bridge, okay. Apparently it's a special fate. Oh, since we're in the area, let's go check it out. I don't know what's special about the fate, but there's somewhere in chat says, hey, this is a special fate, so let's go check it out. It's only a bit to the east here. If we could fly, we'd be there a lot quicker, but... That's a... That doesn't seem like a special fate. But... yeah, might as well check it out. Seems like there's other people here, so perhaps there is something to this. I like that barding for that chocobo. It's pretty cool. I'm a sucker for good chocobo barding. I wonder what's special about this fate, though. Oh, I guess here we go. Gotta learn today. There doesn't seem to be anything too special, just kind of there's a whole bunch of mobs to kill. Bicolor gemstones. Gates in certain areas offer bicolor gemstones words that can be exchanged with gemstone traders for rare items. Okay, cool. Alright. I guess we got something special out of it, so we'll take it. It's definitely a beautiful waterfall there. So it looks like that's going to be the bridge up ahead that we need to head for this next quest. Along with a little discovery. So let's see if this haunted bridge has anything to it. Hostile presence, huh? Definitely some shadows. Need some salt for this one. Deal. So it looked like there was some truth in lore. Alright, so we're on our way back to the village after completing all those quests. One thing we really haven't done is the harvesting the barley, but that's right outside the town, so we can just grab that easily on the way back. So no biggie there. There's the barley that we need. Let's grab some of that. Let's see a little bit here. A little bit from this field. And for good measure, a little bit over here. Alright, good to go. Alright, let's do some turn-ins here. There were two spirits? Ah, I think I see. The young lady was with child. It truly was the ghost of Ismaila then. May their souls be returned to the sea of stars. We can but pray that such tragedy never again visits us in his lifetime. And pray forgive my frivolous words from before. I thought only to give you a fright and say you gifted those spirits with the peace they deserve. Thank you. You took care of them? I can hardly believe it. We worked long and hard for the food we harvested and have it all snatched away by those brutes. You'd think with all that training and discipline they'd have an easy time adjusting to an honest life in the field, but I suppose some men are cruel by nature. At least there are good people like you to still around to renew my faith in the world. You have our thanks. Alright, let's turn in here to this farmer. Now that I've had a chance to calm down, I feel a little embarrassed by my earlier behavior. I think stories of sea witches and like may have fed my panic, but not everyone puts stock in those old tales, it seems. There was talk of a girl from Gate Town who's tucked into visiting the lighthouse to practice her singing. Wait, you don't think that awful Kenny could have been? No, surely not. Thank you for standing by me during that terrifying ordeal. I'd be wary of wailing sea witches should you find yourself near the cleave again. That's funny. That lady just turned out to be a screaming sea witch. Village over here. You brought me my barley then. Yes, we have. Thank you, lass. There's fewer hands around to help us save our sense the... It's a good drop. Alright, ale. It slides down the throat like honeyed sunshine, so they say. And before you know it, you down the whole damn bottle. Drink it slow and easy, lass, or you'll be waking up with a sore head come tomorrow. Let's go turn this in. Were you guys full in your bargaining? Yes, we were. Ah, I see. That would explain why the trickle of ale into Eulmore ceased altogether. I shall report the situation to my patron and see what can be provided in form of laborers and surplus comestibles. In any case, I thank you for securing this precious bottle, kind traveler. Your payment as promised. Alright, so another ring coffer. Use that over our existing ring. That one. Alright, so let's see here. Let's go to the north. Well, let's go to the southwest here first. I guess I should probably be down here. There we go. Something I can do for you, stranger? Why, yes, you can. Well, beat me with a hammer. Has it been that long? I was aiming to salvage the planks from this old hull, but she's giving me more trouble than I bargained for. But it wastes to leave all this lumber lying around. Not much call for seaworthy ships since the light ate up half the world, you understand. So I reckon it would be better for a woodworker like me to put to good use. Those boards, though, they're so tightly joined, I can't pull the bleeding things loose. Here, do me a favor and sprinkle some of this powder and joints along the keel. I'll keep working on this end, and with any luck I can make it home before the wife stomps down here to fetch me herself. Alright, so let's sprinkle some powder around here. There we go. Couple more to go. Okay, last one. There we go. That should do the trick. Powdered fire crystal is the best thing for melting wood glue. Just pour a little on water and steam will take care of the rest. This ought to be a one-man job now, thanks to you. Oh, if you could let know I'll be done within the hour, then you'll have helped me out of 2 rough spots today. He's alright then? Well, that's a relief. Red's had share of troubles and wife does worry. What? He had you helping strip planks? That cheek of a man. Still, we're lucky his father taught him to trade it all, even if he uses those skills to take ships apart instead of building them. A woodworker puts food on the table, so I'm grateful to his family for keeping up their traditions. I'm grateful for you for bringing me peace of mind. Please take this for your kindness. Can do. Let's see if we can head along here then. There we go. That looks like Ulysses reached this area. Thank you for the escort. This is the gentleman I wish to speak with, so we needn't go any further. Oh, that's good. Are you wandering around here by yourself out here? You know what kind of creatures look beyond the borders of the village. Oh, well, if it isn't the Clifftall's little girl, something I can do for you, lass? Yes, sir, I came for an answer to my proposal from the other day. Have you given any thought to taking over as village mayor? I'm doing the best I can in the interim, but I have neither the age nor the wisdom to continue the role. The rest of the villagers agree with me. I'm fairly sure I said you nay once already. But seeing as you're fond a guard just so you come and talk to me, then mayhap I will consider the idea in exchange for a few small tasks. You will please just tell me what I need to do. My friend Clifftall, your dear father, was looking for a sickle to cut some rope. Would you mind skipping back to the village and borrowing one from me? Why would you... I mean, a sickle, was it? For cutting rope? That shouldn't be too difficult. I only meant to ask you along for one trip. If I complete these tasks, would you be willing to indulge me a while longer? Sure. Go ahead and head to the village real quick, see if we can find this sickle. Good day to you. You look a little flustered. Was there something I could help you with? Good day to you, ma'am. I was actually at borrow a sickle. Is that all? Here, you can take this one. Several spares, so there's no rush to return. Doing a spot of harvesting, are you? I think, but it's not for me exactly. I was asked to bring one for my father. Your father, Shadow saved me. Forgive me if you recount me these tasks and you deserve to know the whole story. It was my father, Clifton, who was the former mayor of Wright. And the incident I spoke of earlier was something that happened a year ago. One day, a stray sin-eater came prowling around and slaughtered nearly half the village, who was a waking nightmare. Some of the villagers blamed my father. They said it was because he refused to accept the protection of Eulmore. The sheer scale of the tragedy and the accusations filed wore away at his conscience till finally he could bear the guilt no longer. He hung himself. The old man we spoke to was his closest friend, but considering how he worded his request, seems he's reluctant to accept the fact of my father's death. Still, I would see this task to its end. Let's bring them the sickle, shall we? Let's find out. Here's the sickle. Okay. Oh, good, good. Oh, Clifton will be glad to see this. Oh, sir. Thank you for staying with me. This might be harder than I expected. Alright. Grateful to have you. Thank you again. I believe you have more tasks for me? So, yes. There's a talus of mine that's taking far too long to make its return. Probably busy tussling with some dim-witted predator. Go and see how it fares and chase off anything slowing it down. We will find the towers in question to the southwest of here. No doubt there'll be a dim wind predators playing for you to deal with. Alright. Well, let's head on that way then. Something of hostile mergers. Well, time to kick some butt. There we go. They defeated the couple squirrels there. Glad you were here. They must have burrowed in beneath the place. I know implied that Taos was still moving, but as you can see, it definitely hasn't moved for some time. Once upon a time, there'd be a line of these contraptions hauling materials down to the shipyard, step by ponderous step, which incidentally is how the slow road supposedly earned its name. After Daedalus Stoneworks closed down some 15 summers ago, there was no one left to make or maintain their creations. One by one, the Talos slowly fell into disrepair. This particular worker was damaged during the Stray Eater rampage, and it hasn't shifted an inch ever since. It was always his favorite. Come, let's make our report. Alright, so we're heading back to the tower over here to report our success. Alright, so what does he have to say about this? Should be left alone for the time being. Ah, excellent news, but I expect you'll need a good polishing when he returns. The most troublesome ones are the ones most endearing. Oh, sir. You done me a fine service, thank you. Indeed, thank you. I could never have fought such a creature myself. If I oppose you for the next task as well... Thank you again. I honestly could not do this without you. Are there any more tasks you have for us? Just one last thing. I want you to gather some pretty files from the split hall as a gift for my darling wife. She went out for her usual walk, but is not dying for her to come home. I fear it may have said something to sour her mood. I understand. We shall gather a lovely bouquet for her then. Alright, let's go get some flowers. They shouldn't be too far away. And some bison there. Apparently it's one of my hunt marks, so let's go ahead and take that down. One more for the marks. There's one right over there. Hello. Alright, second bison down. We tamed 3 sacks of nuts. Oh lord. That joke's not gonna get old anytime soon. We can lose these. There we go. Alright, Euless, what's going on with this? Most pleasant, isn't it? Aside from the aggressive wildlife, of course. I should tell you about his wife. She was killed in the Eater incident, although I imagine you already suspected as much. They made such a sweet couple. Every day they would walk up this cape hand in hand, and she would gaze out over the flowers with this warm, contented smile. He had some training as a warrior. He would guard her as if she were a princess, and he her gallant knight. I'm sorry. It's just that... Is he fit to serve as mayor? There are none who care for right and the people more than he. The villagers and I are certain that he will rise to the occasion. He just need a little more time. It has been but a year, and we are all still suffering. Some seek to bury the misery beneath cheery faces, and others are yet trapped in the memories of the past. But if a bouquet of flowers is what it takes to help him work through his sadness, then I will pick every bloom for this cape. Will you give me a hand to find some of the prettier flowers? Pray think of it as a tribute to the deceased. Okay, number 3. Let's see what we have here. Yes, these are beautiful. Thank you. He will be pleased. Let's take them back to Stonegazer before they get crushed in some scuffle. I agree. Let's get going. It's not too far away. Catching a bunch of aggro though, jeez. Everyone's gonna follow us back. Almost there. We made it, and the flowers are none for the worse for wear. We return with the bouquet for your wife. Osplin, thank you. Now perhaps she will come. She will come back to... Sir, forgive me, I've asked such cruel things of you. I must apologize to you as well. My beloved wife, my dear neighbor, is so many gone. After it happened, despair became my only company. I could not even save my closest friend when my torment was plain for all to see. I could never forgive myself, so I embraced this delusion, thinking that maybe if I tried hard enough, if I truly believed they were still alive, that the events of the day would fade away like the nightmare it was, but I succeed only in hurting those around me. I understand why you did that, sir, I truly do. You're always such a sweet child. I would place the flowers you brought on her grave. She would have loved them. As for me assuming the role of mayor, I am sorry, but I cannot give you a decision just yet. Take as long as you need. In fact, I might need a little time to recover myself. Give me a moment or two, yeah. Take your time. Thank you for your patience. He seems to be wrestling with his thoughts, but perhaps we can help him come to a decision. Have you arrived at a decision? Exactly, it's now matter. Do you mind sharing this map with us? Well, it goes back to the day that the Eater attacked the village. I was taking my turn looking here at Stonegazer. Its duty we take very seriously. Then when the tower was originally built, it was time before the flood. They were more worried about dwarves and mountain bandits, but these days, yes, there's far worse prowling about and failed to spot. The same Eater which came that day did not appear as other monstrosities I have seen. From a distance, simply looked like a person. I wanted to be sure before I rang the warning bell, but I waited too long. Many who could have fled died because of my hesitation. How could a man of such faulty judgment ever serve you as mayor? What comfort can I offer those whose loved ones were needlessly slain? None, not while this abomination itself roams free to kill again. You would take vengeance on our behalf? That is good, for we are powerless before its might. Should the Eater show its cursed face again, then I pray you are strong as you appear. I know nothing of the roads that you've walked or vows you have fought, so I can but echo what he has said. Our prayers will be for your victory. Talk of vengeance aside, I do not believe the villagers, either living or dead, hold you responsible for the actions of that monster. Yet I cannot fault you for wanting to remain distant. Pray forgive me for pestering you so. Nay, 'tis I who should beg forgiveness, though you have lost as much as anyone. I left you to shoulder the burden of leadership alone. All will be well with you back among us again. Come, let's return to the village. As I've said, it's unsafe to linger out here for too long. But one last escort. That looks like she made it okay. My thanks for your protection, not to mention your patience. It is my hope that he has burdened his mind to us. His heart will be the tiniest bit lighter. I, for one, feel ready to face another day. After all, I have my friends and neighbors here to help me face it. There's one last thing I want to show you both. It's to do with Wright's traditional industry, if you're interested in taking a look. Oh good, I was worried you'd had enough of me. My last errand for you then will have you a word with him and bring him to the barley fields at the front of the village. I'll be there tending the crops until you arrive. Okay. It's right over here. I'm grateful for your understanding, and the flowers you brought. My wife would have been very much approved their selection. Now, there was something you wish to discuss with me? Euless wants me there as well, does she? We'd best head over to the fields then. Let's head on over to the fields over yonder. This is what I wanted to show you, the barley crop right here. This was your father's plot, wasn't it? You've been intending to do it in his absence? Every single day I wanted to see his plans come true. His plans? Yes, he dreamed of restoring things to how the history books said they once were, before the flood ruined everything. Our village has long been known as a place of artisans. Even the name Wright is a nod to all the craftsmen that once made their home here. In years gone by, a said line of tallows would stretch down the road, arms bearing lumber, and the shipyard would echo with the calls of shipwrights hard at work. And when the day was done, they would gather here to share an ale in the village. My father, he'd hoped to brew the traditional Wright ale with the barley from his crop, to one day tap a barrel with his family and dear friends and raise a toast to the future. Will you raise a mug with me when that day comes? Well, yeah. Of course I will, yeah. But my dear girl, the land here does not nourish the crops as it once did. I fear it will be some time ere you will have barley fit for the ale you have in mind. In the meantime, will you help me with the rest of Clifton's plans? The rest? We want the things the way they once were, Dee, not that we must first recover from the tragedy which was visited upon us. There is no simple solution, but I mean to do what I can to lead our community out of this mire of pain and grief. Assuming you're still willing to have me as mayor. Yes, of course, thank you. I was set to live out the rest of my life in denial, but you have opened the eyes of this old fool to what needs to be done, and for that you have my thanks. Now I'd best get to work. I have folk to talk and plans to make. When you're finished here, I should appreciate your assistance. Well, I think this is where we finally part ways. Thank you again for all you've done for us. The people of right will go on, even under the weight of our sorrow. It may not happen this day or the next, but together we'll find ways to make things better, to recapture the prosperity the village once had. I look forward to when you next visit. With any luck, I'll be waiting to put a frothing mug of right brewed ale in your hand. There she goes. Alright, I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and wrap things up on this end here. So let me go ahead and bring it on in. So I think it's a good place of ending to end our journey for the night before we go into deeper things with the main storyline. So I do thank you all for tuning in and watching wherever you may watch. If you want to, make sure that you follow, subscribe here on YouTube, and follow me on Twitter. Thank you all for joining me tonight, and see you around next time for more continuation of the main story here in Shadowbringers.